Good evening, one and all present here. I am Soumita Chandrasekharan from Department of Civil Engineering, Sakthi Polytechnic College, established by Arutchelvar Padma Bhushan, Dr. N. Magalingam sir, to welcome you all for this AICTE sponsored ATAL 6 Days FW Faculty Development Program 2024. It gives me an immense joy to welcome you all for this exciting and enriched faculty development program. And over the next few days, this program will share the knowledge and insights of disaster management. Your presence reflects your passion for continuous learning and dedication in shaping the young minds, which is truly inspiring. We are so glad that over 160 participants from various parts of our country getting interested to join us for this knowledge sharing progress. On behalf of our institution, let's make this program a memorable one. Owing to this Tamil culture, this program will start with our prayer song, Tamil Thai Valthu.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செய்ய மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Thank you, sir. Now I request to address Coordinator Dr. R. Shanmugam, sir, Head of the Department, to welcome the gatherings.
Good evening to one and all. On behalf of Department of Civil Engineering, Sakthi Polytechnic College, we welcome you all for the inaugural function of ATAL Online FDP program on disaster management and resilient infrastructure from 6/1/2025 to 11/1/2025. On behalf of all the participants, we welcome our correspondent, Sir Mr. G. Muniyasamy, to preside over this function. We welcome our director, Dr. K.R. Muthusamy, sir, to deliver felicitation address. We welcome our principal, Dr. S. Senthilar, sir, to deliver felicitation address. We invite Dr. G.L. Sathimurthy, Professor, Inaugural College of Technology, to deliver a special address for this function. He kindly accepted our invitation to deliver the address. On behalf of our management and participants, we welcome our chief guest. Professors from various reputed institutes, foreign universities, and from industries accepted our invitation to deliver the lectures. Dr. G.S. Trinyanam, Professor, Builders Engineering College, Kangayam. Dr. T. Palanisamy, Professor, NIT Karnataka, Mangalore. Dr. G.L. Sathimurthy, Professor, Inaugural College of Technology, Coimbatore. Dr. Anthony Petra Christian University, Indonesia. Dr. U. Johnson Alangaram, Professor, Director, Center for Innovative Construction Technology, Malaysia. Dr. G.S. Ram Pradeep, Professor, Konga Engineering College, Erode. Mr. A. Silvam, Proprietor, Land Coordinated Technology, Chennai. Dr. S. Christian Johnson, MD, Blessings Power and Civil Consultancy, Bhavani. Dr. A. Sudhagar, Proprietor, Diamond Sons, Coimbatore. Mr. K.T. Raju, Manager, Maingate, India, Bangalore. We welcome all the professors and industries. Participants from various states of India are attending this program. With the cooperation of all the participants, the program will be successful. We extend our wholehearted warm welcome to all the participants. We welcome all the head of the departments, faculties, technical faculties, technical supporting staff, and office staff members. We welcome coordinator, Mrs. S. Kavibharati, organizing committee members, Mr. C. Soumida, Mr. G. Chandran, Mr. V. Dhanasekhar, Mr. V. Manimuthu. And we also welcome supporting team, Mr. S. Manimuthu, Mr. T. Saran, Mr. Sanjay. Once again, Welcome all the participants, guests, professors, and industries for this wonderful function. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Now I welcome all the dignitaries to lighting the lamp. Thank you, sir. My hearty welcome to our honorable correspondent, Mr. G. Muniyasamy, sir, to deliver the presidential address.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Audible, sir.
Yeah, I once again join Dr. Shanmugam in welcoming all the participants to this important event on the disaster management in resilient infrastructure. I also thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity to say a few words about this event. Okay. You all know the disasters happening is nowadays have become more often. We all can recall the recent events or in our own lifetime. I have seen the worst kind of tsunami in 2004, which affected from Indonesia to India, lakhs of people losing their lives, and how much infrastructure we lost, and how many people went shelterless. We also seen the Chennai floods of 2015, where we again experienced the worst kind of disaster. Why 2015? The recent Wayanad landslide is another event in our memory. See, these things are nowadays. It looks like we are seeing more such disasters. Maybe in the past also might have happened similar thing, but certainly there are more events happening nowadays. Maybe because of the impact on the natural resources our own development has created. For example, I was told that the population of India was about 34 C in 1947. Today, within 78 years, our population has grown 4 times, more than 4 times actually, 140 plus crores. And comparatively, if you look at our own infrastructure, and today 80% of the people might be having a great kind of shelter, and we have created so many industries. And other side, we are able to feed the whole 140 crore population. All this development doesn't come just like that. We have exploited the resources, natural resources. We can see the rivers, how the rivers were in. I'm 60 plus, 50 years before the rivers were full of sands. Today, most of the rivers we lost. There is no sand, and the result is the sand which was holding the water is no more, and it just drains, and the impacting the flood kind of situation. So more such things are going to happen. I don't think that we can stop the happening of the disasters, but only we can think of how to manage this. As I think most of the participants here are civil engineers, and you all have a major role to play in the management of the disasters in the days to come. How you are planning the buildings, infrastructure, how you are designing, what kind of material we are going to use in constructing a major infrastructures, and how it is implemented, how the construction is happening, what kind of quality process we follow in doing that, and how the infrastructures are continuously maintained. The maintaining is again a major thing. Continuous maintenance is important in managing the disasters, and how we are going to use the technology. You all know the AI is going to play a major role, and we have to use the AI things, softwares to manage our disasters. One major example, if I would like permit me to quote, is the way Japan is managing their thing. we all know that Japan is experiencing almost every day some kind of small and big earthquakes, but there it has become a way of life. They don't get the way we get impacted, and our civil engineers have to work on such solutions and materials using that, and managing the disasters which are bound to happen in the future. I am sure this conference will bring out more innovative ideas to manage the disasters. I once again thank Dr. Sanmam and team in organizing such an important need of our program. I also would like to thank AIC team for supporting this event. I think I'm running short of time. I will stop here. I wish all the participants and the team, organizing team, all the very best in bringing out the wonderful outcome. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to welcome Dr. K.R. Muthusamy sir to deliver the felicitation address.
Good evening, respected correspondent, respected principal of this institution, Dr. Sendilarase, the coordinator, Dr. Sanmugam, and the faculty members of Department of Civil Engineering, Sakthi Polytechnic College, the participants from various states across India. All of you, once again, I welcome you all for this wonderful FDP on disaster management in resilient structures. We all know there are so many natural disasters coming frequently, especially in some part of the world, some earthquakes frequently coming, then the tsunami, then cyclone, etc. are frequently occurs. Those things are inevitable. Natural disaster will definitely come. We must accept whatever may be the consequence. We must accept. Civil engineers, we must know, we must be prepared to mitigate that means the management of those disasters. Restoring or resisting the event, and also to resume the original purpose of the structure. Then what we have to know is, if any disaster happens, there are so many things, so many effects, effect on human lives, effect on the infrastructure side, roads, buildings, dams, and so many facilities, telecommunication facility, power sectors, all those things are affecting. Thereby, it gives a challenge to the human lives. Therefore, we must be prepared to meet those occurrences. So, what we have to do is, we have to design the structure in such a way that it has to resist. It has to withstand the event of earthquake, or even so many artificial disasters like bomb blast and all. We have to face the consequence. Then we have to design the structure in such a way that it has to resist, and also it must be resilient enough to regain its original position and also serve the purpose for the future use, because it involves huge amount disaster occurs. The government authorities have to spend millions and millions of amount for restoration of the lives as well as the infrastructure facilities and all. Therefore, this program like this or any conference like this people have to discuss each other to mitigate those things in future. Or and also we have to plan for minimize the occurrence of losses. Therefore, I congratulate our team coordinator Dr. Sanmugam and his team to organize this kind of program and also to share the knowledge from various faculties across the world to participants. Then I congratulate the participants to utilize effectively this program for the forthcoming days. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our principal, Dr. S. Sendilarasu sir, to deliver the felicitation address.
Honorable correspondent, respected chief guest of today's function, Dr. Sathimurthy, professor from Kumaraguru College of Technology, Coimbatore, beloved director of our institution, Dr. K.R. Muthuswamy sir, and dear coordinator, Dr. Shanmugam, and dear participants. Good evening to one and all. First of all, I congratulate the coordinator, Dr. Shanmugam, and his team members for their sincere effort in organizing this wonderful online ATAL-sponsored faculty development program on disaster management and resilient infrastructure. Next, I'd like to thank and congratulate all the participants from Pan India for showing their interest in attending this faculty development program. My special appreciation to the coordinator for choosing this topic, disaster management and resilient infrastructure, because we are living in the era of climate change. We are experiencing unprecedented weather conditions in the recent days, whether it may be a summer or winter or rain. So the need of the hour is resilient infrastructure. Even the meteorological department, unable to predict or give the forecast precisely, they find it difficult to locate the exact landfall of the cyclone many times, making tough for the public and the governance. We have seen in the news that about 17 bridges in Bihar were washed away in floods in the recent floods. Even in our state, Tiruvannamalai, a 6-month-old bridge was washed away in the floods. So it is essential to build structures that can withstand earthquakes, cyclone, and flood. By investing in effective disaster management and building resilient infrastructure, we can save lives, protect livelihoods, ensure economic stability, and enhance community well-being. The task is challenging, but not insurmountable. It requires collective effort from governments, communities, and the private sector. Let us work together to build a sector safer, more resilient future for all. So in the next 6 days, You are going to gain knowledge and experience in these fields from the eminent speakers who are expert in this field. So my best wishes to one and all, and my best wishes for the grand success of this faculty development program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's time to welcome our chief guest to address for this session. Dr. G.L. Satyamurthy, sir, presently working as a professor in Civil Engineering Department of Kumaraguru College of Technology, Coimbatore. Prior to joining Kumaraguru College of Technology, he had a civil engineering field and industrial exposure for 12 years. He holds a bachelor degree in civil engineering from Madras University in 2001, a master degree in environmental engineering from Bharatiyar University in 2003. He had also completed his doctorate of philosophy in civil engineering from Anna University in the year of 2013. Some of his special interest areas are advanced industrial wastewater treatment, municipal solid waste management, environmental impact assessment, and a low-cost energy protection. In his professional career, he had completed an Indo-French collaborative research project on optimization of fixed bed reactors and played a major role in executing sequential batch reactors technology based water waste treatment plants in Kumaraguru College Technology campus. At present, he is actively involving in a research work of removal of arsenic from a drinking water, biological hydrogen protection from domestic and agro-industrial wastewater using anaerobic hybrid reactors with the support from an industry and various nodal agencies of Government of India. We welcome you for this session, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Hope I'm audible and visible as well.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. At the outset, I am also joining hands along with our correspondent, Sri Munsami sir, and director, principal, in congratulating the organizing team led by Dr. Shanmugam sir for receiving this ATAL FDP from AICTE and initiating this wonderful FDP for the benefit of students as well as the practicing engineers and the faculty members throughout India. So at this juncture, I know this particular 6-day deliberations are going to be very useful for the audience because, they are going to touch upon all the speakers. They are going to touch upon the importance of the disaster management and also how to create the resilient structures. All those things, they are going to deliberate for the 6 days. And I am happy to know that, the keynote speakers selected by the team, it is the blend of professors, not only from National Institute of Technology and also the foreign universities. That is one of the nice things, sir. First of all, for that, I wanted to pay my sincere appreciation to the organizing team. Because nowadays, as rightly told by our correspondent as well as our director, director and principal, every day we are facing some sort of the problem, especially due to climate change as well as maybe due to man-made disasters. In order to face and also mitigate those things, we need to have certain practices in our place. That is why, the 6 days deliberation, we are going to discuss not only what all the disasters and also how do we mitigate in scientific manner. Of course, our correspondents have touched upon the importance of AI inclusion in mitigating the disaster management. So definitely, the 6 days deliberation will include everything. And we hope that the participants will have ample knowledge, maybe in the field of disaster management, including the some of the new practices that is being adopted using the advanced maybe artificial intelligence tools. So with this, with this small note, once again, I wanted to pay my deepest gratitude to the organizing team for having me as the speaker for the day and also inviting me in the inaugural function of the ceremony. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
No, sir.
Is it okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Now this is
Now it's
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So once again, I wanted to pay my deepest gratitude to the management of Sakthi Polytechnic College for giving me the wonderful opportunity to share some of the thought that what is the disaster management and its importance. As we all know, disaster is an event or series of events that causes significant damage, destruction, or loss of life, property, and resources. Disasters can occur naturally or be caused by human actions. They disrupt the normal functioning of the society and often require coordinated emergency responses to alleviate the impact. That is what the message. It is not the one-man job. It is everybody's job that we have to see that we have to go for almost combating the impact. So a survey says 68% of India's land is prone to drought, 60% is prone to earthquake, 12% it is to flood, and 8% to cyclone. So India is one of the most disaster-prone countries in the world, affecting overall 85% of Indian land and more than 50 million people. That is why it is a time for everyone to consider prevention and preparedness measures and make community resilient. So again, when we come for the classification of disaster, it can be classified into three. Number one is natural disaster, again man-made or human-made disaster, and sometimes the hybrid mode, the complex disaster. Sometimes man-made and natural may also come into picture. So that is what the message I wanted to communicate. Coming on to the natural disaster, which are caused by natural forces and events resulting in damage to life, property, and the environment. It can be classified as the five things. One is geological disorder, meteorological disorders, and hydrological disorders, biological disorders. Of course, recently we faced that, and environmental disorders. So one of the surveys says that India is obviously topping the three nations with the most natural disaster. Nearly 80,000 lives lost, more than 100 crore affected in India due to natural disaster in 20 years. You see, this this figure is so alarming. Almost India faced 321 maybe the disasters during year in 20 years, 2000 to 2019. You see, this is the almost the death rates in five deadliest natural disaster. So these are all the things shows that how vulnerable a disaster when it is happening. That is what this particular slide is added. So coming out to the geological disasters, of course, we know earthquake, which is the sudden shaking of the ground caused by the movement of tectonic plates. Again, volcanic eruption, the eruption of molten magma. Again, ash and gases from a volcano. Sometimes landslide. Of course, recently we have witnessed the Wayanad landslide, the downward movement of rock, soil, and debris. Due to Wayanad movement is the debris due to gravity and often triggered by heavy rainfall or earthquake. Tsunamis, of course, our response are mentioned in the year 2004 we witnessed, and Kumaraguru was also part of doing the combating activities. So oceanic waves generated by underwater earthquake or volcanic eruption that can flood coastal areas. So these are all the pictures that shows the natural earthquake, that especially from geological disorders. And coming on to the meteorological disorders, the cyclone, the floods, hurricane, typhoon, all are comes under meteorological disorder because of the strong winds, heavy rainfall, maybe over the ocean waters. That is what meteorology. Again, tornadoes may be violently rotating columns of air that can extend from thunderstorm to ground, causing destruction. So this is the tornado. Again, droughts, prolonged periods of abnormally low rainfall leading to water shortages and crop failure. So nowadays we are not facing the drought, but we are facing the heavy downpour and heavy drought. Both are happening in our area because of the climate change, as rightly told by our principals. Again, heat waves, extended periods of excessively high temperature, which can lead to health issues and maybe increased mortality. Again, the blizzards, severe snowstorm. Of course, we are in Muti and all, we can see in the recent news that, so Urai Pani is maybe possible in Muti. Like that, some areas of the North India facing this type of blizzards because of the snowstorms, and which will cause the reduced visibility and the cold temperature. Because of that, people will suffer. You see, sometimes this type of things may happen in the disaster, especially meteorological disaster. Coming on to the hydrological disasters, the floods, which is usually happening in most of our river overflowing during the time of the rainy season, normally on dry land, Of course, we are facing the Tanjore districts and all recently we face even Tirunelveli and all, we face that problem caused by heavy rainfall, again snow melt. Of course, this is not in South India, this could be in North India. Sometimes dam failure or dam opening, deliberate dam opening, all are of course we recently witnessed. Again, avalanches, a mass of snow or ice debris falling down a slope, often triggered by warm weather, heavy snow, or human activity. So sometimes, those who are climbing the snow mountain, they face this type of the problems while they are climbing. You see, these are all the disasters due to, these are all the pictures which is showing the ill effects of the flood whenever, the dams are open without giving notice or without giving warning, all those things. Again, coming on to the biological disaster, of course, recently we faced the pandemic, and pandemic and plagues, widespread outbreaks of the infectious diseases. Again, COVID-19, Ebola disease. So almost we are around 2.5 years lockdown because of the pandemic. Again, sometimes the insects infection. Sometimes the insects bite, which may cause maybe outbreak of diseases. Maybe among human, this type of diseases may come for human. Sometimes it may go and eat the leaf or the crop. That in such a way also this will make a damage to crops and then disturb the ecosystem. So we all know that we had all our personal protective equipment and then we moved during the time of Corona. This is one of the biological disasters recently what we witnessed. Again, coming on to the environmental disasters. Naturally, many environmental disasters that is happening around the world, especially the forest fire, which cannot be controlled, which will spread across all the vegetation, often caused by dry condition. Whenever two wooden blocks, whenever they have the friction, sometimes this type of wildfire will pop up. Again, sometimes, lightning also will contribute for that. Sometimes human activity in Amazon, of course, they are planning for the road near to the Amazon jungle. Because of that, sometimes, people are going, they are using the fire-like thing for the benefit of cooking and all. In the leap as it is, sometimes, this type of the human activity, environmental disaster will pop up. Again, coming on to the pollution, we deliberately pollute air, water, and soil. Because of that, many contaminations are happening. Because of the contaminations, we become host in spreading the diseases. That is what happening in environmental. So that is why it is our bounden duty to say that we have to not to pollute air, water, and soil. Again, coming on to the various man-made disasters, which will be caused by human actions or negligence. Sometimes, negligence also, often involving the release of harmful substances, maybe into the air or destruction of infrastructure. So again, this can be grouped into 5. Number 1, technological disasters, environmental degradation. Third one, armed conflict and war. You see nowadays, Russia is making attack on Ukraine's power grid, where which may lead to catastrophic nuclear accident. Again, technological failures, which is one of the maybe the power line failures, all those. Again, sometimes urban disasters, all the disasters. These are all happening, as we all know that the Bhopal gas tragedy, still people are not getting the treatment till date. Such a worst tragedy India has witnessed in the hope I am audible and visible, sir. Hope I am audible and visible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Sorry for frequently discussion. Since I am on other side, I am making this. Thank you very much, sir. Coming on to the technical disorders, how the man-made things may cause technical disorder. The nuclear accidents. Of course, we have seen Fukushima, Chernobyl accidents. Whenever the nuclear reactor, whenever these type of nuclear power plants, things are coming out, which may be causing the problem. Even it can able to mute our DNA because of their half-life, huge half-life period. It can mute our DNA. Again, chemical spills. Sometimes, in recently in Andhra Pradesh, of course, we have seen some of the chemical spills. So accidental release of hazardous chemical into the environment, even whenever affecting air, water, and soil. This is one of the things. Again, oil spills also recently we witnessed maybe in Tamil Nadu coastal areas, especially near Chennai. Release of oil into water bodies. When the oil oil ships, whenever they face some sort of problem, maybe in the sea, again, oil spills may happen, causing severe environmental damage, including killing of marine life. You see, this is one of the species, in the oil linked area, how it is living. Again, industrial accidents, sudden accidents in the factories or plants, like explosion of fires, are often due to safety violations. Sometimes, any accident that is happening, it is caused because of the negligence of the people, maybe in industry. These are all we call it as technical disasters, especially in man-made disaster. Coming on to the environmental degradation, deforestation, of course, it is one of the serious measure which will be caused by the people. Even Amazon, people are thinking to produce roads, they are taking some sort of the road, Amazon forest. Because of that, sometimes that is the reason, nowadays we are encouraging the afforestation programs. If one tree is removed, a 10 sampling must be planted. Such a thing, we are doing it maybe in supporting the afforestation program and avoiding deforestation. Again, soil erosion. This will be topsoil removal that is happening because of the leaching out maybe in rain. Sometimes, making land will be less productive and vulnerable to floods. All these are happening because of the man-made actions. Again, armed conflict and wars, war and terrorism, because many war that is happening around the world, the violent conflicts such as war, terrorist attacks leading to mass destruction, loss of life, and displacement of people. You see, whenever Bangladesh is having some problem, again we are facing some sort of problem in the neighboring states and neighboring districts. So even people are telling, sometimes, the people who are migrating from Bangladesh to India, it is because of the close by, the borders are very close by. Like that, some sort of, and again, whenever Burma is under problem, people are migrating maybe to India. Like that, many things, the war and terrorism, not only will, even we can see many people, we are coming, the Tamil Eelam, some people are coming to Sri Lanka also, maybe to India. Like that, it not only causes the internal strife, but it causes maybe the nearby countries also, putting them under thrust. Again, civil wars, especially maybe the internal wars, internal conflicts, maybe, of course, we know Somalia, which is facing severe drought, severe problem, economic crisis, everything because of the internal conflict that is happening inside the. Nowadays, gender-based terrorism, gender-based maybe things are also under problem. You see, women war. Maybe sometimes, these type of things are also getting created, which will be causing the destruction because of the man-made actions. Again, coming on to the technological failure, sometimes, the power grid failure, the large scale, the blackouts due to the failure of electrical infrastructure causing disruption to daily life. So this has happened maybe in our area as well. Again, cyber security, the breaches. So recently we have faced the outrage maybe in the year July 24. Even for sometimes, all the flights, even, the daily routine, it has been totally changed because of this outrage. Sometimes major cyber attack, maybe even in our Delhi aims, we face this type of the cyber security attack. Again, cyber crimes are nowadays being increased. Even Government of India nowadays, whenever we make a telephone, before making a telephone, we are getting this type of the awareness things. Don't be the victim of cyber crime, or don't be the victim of the cyber crime. So people are nowadays talking about digital arrest. There is no such arrest. It is available maybe in India. People are but nevertheless talking about digital arrest, and they are putting maybe inside the room by means of telling digital arrest. This type of things, we have to know. We have to avoid all those things. Again, you see, nowadays, earlier, knowledge is power. Now data is power. So whenever data is getting leaked maybe to the nearby organization, definitely we as an organization suffer. That is what very important. Sometimes, the important data should not. That is why nowadays computer engineers, they come up with maybe the coding language. Even nevertheless, decoding is possible by hackers. Again, urban disasters and resilience is one of the important area where we have to focus, because all urban areas are getting flooded with 11.4. So this has to be properly managed. That is where, again, building collapses, structural failure, again, the bridge, even our principals are also mentioned in this, maybe the felicitation address. Again, poor construction standards, all are happening maybe because of, again, transportation accidents, which is causing major the life loss in the due to accidents. Maybe not only due to the bus or road transport, even train, planes, ships, automobile, all are causing the problem in the urban area. That is why, all these things, of course, through our proper planning and also through a proper execution of what we have to mitigate in such a way so that, we should not face this type of disasters again, maybe into backward system. That is what our idea. Sometimes, the third one is also highly vulnerable because nowadays the days are not far away. We can able to witness this type of the hybrid disaster, which is natural as well as man-made things also may possible. Hybrid means disaster. These occur when multiple types of disaster occur simultaneously or sequentially, exacerbating the impacts of each other. Example, the combination of tsunami and the earthquake like 2004 Indian Ocean disaster or a hurricane followed by flooding. All those things are example because why we are telling, the days are not far away for this type of hybrid disaster because we are in the era of climate change, the way the pace with which the climate is getting changed. Definitely this type of hybrid disasters may happen in the future. That is what very important. Hybrid disaster is also one which occur when a natural man-made the hazard causes great damages. So that is why, we have to avoid this type of these things. That is why we need to go for maybe properly understanding how and why the disasters managements are very, very important. What a complex crisis may do, sir. So that is what a combination of multiple disasters, both natural and man-made, they can include conflict and violence. That is one of the important areas. Sometimes, when this is popping up, definitely people will go to chaos. Sometimes the conflict and violence may happen. Again, severe hunger because one side will become maybe flourishing, one side may become drought. Because of that, people may get severe hunger. Again, violence against the aid workers. Sometimes, especially the violence against women, or especially people who are migrating to want of job, everything. Recently, also we witnessed some of the problem maybe in Tirupur, the attack on nothing like that. Many things may happen when a complex crisis will happen. Again, widespread loss of health care. Of course, we witnessed when the pandemic second phase which was available, we understood what is our medical infrastructure was. Definitely, this type of the crisis will again will spread and loss of healthcare. Again, drought or natural disaster. Again, when the drought or overflooding is there, definitely we are going to face the famine or maybe the food shortage, everything. Again, spread of disease, definitely it may happen whenever both are joining and happening. Again, whenever people, why not? Of course, we have seen, sir, many people, those who are living in that area, now they are getting migrated to nearby places for their livelihood and survival. Like that, the Project Hope says plenty of things may happen whenever these two are combining happening. That is why, my dear friends, those who are the virtual loop, it is high time that, we have to combat this type of crisis by means of understanding it thoroughly. That is why, I have included two things maybe in the disaster and its importance. One is, what is the importance of disaster management? It saves life. That is what very important. When life is available, anything can be bringable or anything can be brought. That is what, it minimizes the life loss of life, ensuring a rapid organized response. Again, whenever we are mitigating the disasters, reduces the economic losses, maybe in terms of the disruption or maybe protecting the critical infrastructure and businesses. That is also possible. Again, protection of property because it reduces property damage and losses from disaster. Again, minimize social disturbance. When there is some sort of disturbance, we can able to see even the top level people within no time they almost came down and become pauper. Like that, whenever these type of disasters are not happening, obviously it helps communities stay united and organized during crisis. We witnessed many supporting program done by many institutions whenever the flood is or whenever disaster is attacking area. So these type of things, whenever it is happening, definitely that is why it is very very important. We have to manage. We have to almost mitigate the disaster. Coming to the key benefits, it will be reducing the risk because identify whenever we involve in that, definitely we can able to identify the hazard and then we can create measures to reduce the risk. Again, improved coordination. Sir, whenever we are knowing what all the disaster, obviously, we can able to prepare ourselves in such a way that, we can able to get the support from many communities, even including government and local government, so that they can able to collaborate and showcase the wonderful the effort in mitigating or combating the disaster. Again, include public awareness. So nowadays we need not to say just by telling a news, maybe in the Sun or maybe any other network, people are getting educated. They're migrating from the vulnerable areas, maybe closer to banks or closer to maybe hill area. That is why nowadays, people are understanding what are all the risks that is associated with any sort the any sort of hazard. Again, resource can be optimized in such a way that it can be we can able to maximize the use and then during the time of emergencies we can able to do that. These are all the benefits by knowing the disaster. We can able to do it better whenever we are trying to mitigate or combat. So I urge all the participants, they should understand 10 important terminology with respect to disaster associated terms. So we have to understand what is a disaster risk reduction, DRR. Whenever we heard about the term DRR, this is talking about efforts to reduce the risk or of disasters and minimize their impact through preparedness, mitigation, and response strategies. So this is very, very important terminology because DRR talks about how best we prepare ourselves in order to that is why even we can able to see in the Sun News or area network before the monsoon, the disaster management authority, they will give you the statement that we are ready to face any type of the disaster that is happening due to any cyclone or any other natural flooding. Again, emergency management, the coordinated effort to prepare for, respond to, and recover from disasters and emergencies. This is very, very important because we have to coordinate with various agencies and then we have to combat the or mitigate the disaster. That is why, this is a second terminology everyone have to understand. So emergency management is, that is why, we obviously will be discussing some more terminology also. Again, the resilience, the ability of community, system, or individual to recover quickly from disaster. That is very, very important because everywhere, anywhere, the resilience is very important, especially in the disaster affected area. How quickly people are coming back and then goes to the routine life. That is very important. That is why the resilience is one of the important terminology everybody should understand. Again, preparedness, sir. How best we are prepared for it. That is why before the monsoon start, obviously removing the silt, obviously the sectioning the maybe the canal, all those things comes under preparedness. Activities carried out before a disaster to ensure people are ready to respond effectively when it occurs. Similarly, again, before the dam opening, giving the warning and then making the people to assemble in a community center, all those things are comes under prevent. Again, response, how quickly we will respond in order to maybe combat the disaster or mitigate the again recovery, the process of rebuilding and returning to normal life after disaster, including restoration of infrastructure, services, and communities. All are very, very important. That is why we have to go for this. That is very important. Again, mitigation. What all the costly actions to prevent or reduce the severity of the disaster. That is very, very important. Even whenever tsunami affected, year 2004, a team from Kumaraguru went immediately, we made maybe the charter roof arrangements and also even a small lamp arrangement we have done it. Like that, how quickly we can able to mitigate from the actions that we do, make the people to come out of from severe disaster. Again, relief, this is very important. Assistance provided maybe to the affected community immediately after a disaster. That is why our the Secretary Radhakrishnan sir is very famous. In the year 2004, he was the collector of Tanjore district. So he made a relief material to reach out to the communities in such a manner without no disturbance. He made all the people, all the disaster affected people by reachable by many communities. That is why for the good work whatever he has done, he has been called for maybe called by US to give some sort of the lecture. You see, these type of things are very, very important. That is why the relief is very important. Again, early warning system. Using nowadays, as rightly told by correspondents, advent of technology, artificial intelligence, everything, even before 2004, we will not have any tsunami warning system in our ocean. But after the 2004, we have tsunami warning system in India to give about warnings. And even 5 hours, 6 hours before when warning is coming, we can able to evacuate the people. Again, climate change, rightly told by our principals, are climate change, it's very, very important. Because of that, many things are changing. Even we are facing bitter cold, even some of the areas of our own the state. All those things are the very important. That is why, please make a note of it. This terminology, whenever we understand better, whenever we involve ourselves maybe in doing any of the disaster management activity, we can able to converse with the people maybe in knowing terminology, and then we can do better working. And that is what the idea. Again, coming on to the disaster response and relief terminology, we call it as SOR, maybe search and rescue. That is what, even we might have seen the Titanic movie. In that, one person aliveness, the boat will be keep coming and going. Because of that, we can able to see some sort of how the disaster happened. The Titanic story, we can able to see it. So like that, we have to search and rescue. That is one of the important, the relief, the response and relief team should know. Then evacuation, how best we can able to remove the people to get out of from the danger and move them to safer areas. Again, relief aids, immediate assistance provided to the victims. Maybe whenever we faced Wayanad, even we faced the Kerala flood, immediately we arranged 30 important relief aids for the benefit of people, including drinking water. And then we served in a box, almost 1,000 boxes were served on Kumaraguru in our Wayanad, as well as maybe the Tirunelveli district affected areas. Like that, the relief aid materials are very important. So at that time, money and all will not suffice, because, even when Tirunelveli was affected, even drinking water, they were asking for even drinking water, because everywhere water is available, but that water is not good for drinking. That is why we arranged maybe bottled waters. Again, shelter is very important, because everything lost, they need to be put up in nice place. Again, shelter in place, a directive for people to stay indoors, stay safe during disaster, because their morale will be completely lost, because they lost their life, they lost their near and dear life, and also they might have lost their finance, money, everything. That time, they must be put in highest morale. That is what very important. Again, disaster relief team, specialized group, very, very important. Specialized group who can able to move into the disaster area and do some sort of support, including medical care, food distribution, all those things. Again, humanitarian aid, assistance given to people affected by disaster, typically involving food and water, medical care, all those things. War room, that is what very, very important. War room is a place where, anonymous decisions are taken. So even in the pandemic also, we have established a war room, maybe in our state capital. Like that, whenever disasters are happening, war room plays a major role, where people can give communication, people can get some communication, people can maybe give some information. All those things are possible, especially high command. They can, along with officials, they can sit and take maybe the right decision in order to mitigate the disaster. That is what the war room it is making the. Again, sir, hope I am audible and visible, sir. Hope I am audible.
Audible, sir, visible, sir.
Thank you. Very good. So again, in India, disaster management rescue response, it is the almost, in India, it is guided by comprehensive legal framework. That is what, I wanted to maybe say, maybe in the future, especially to handle and mitigate the impacts of disaster. So the various acts it is supporting for our easy management of various disasters that is happening due to natural, man-made, as well as the complexity of both. Disaster Management Act 2005, National Policy on Disaster Management year 2009, again National Disaster Management Plan, NDMP, again state, district and level plans. Of course, we also prepared our own plans in the Coimbatore district. Even our Tamil Nadu government, it has got, all the state government has got its own plan to combat certain disasters that are frequently happening in that area. Again, Environmental Protection Act, which will be the basis for avoiding the environmental degradations. Again, National Building Code, a Construction Code, NBC, gives the minimum requirement to be available in any of the buildings. And then what is the things we have to adopt, all those things, safety requirement. Again, National Disaster Management Framework for school higher education sector. This is very, very important because if something is happening in school, higher education, massacre will be happening. That is why, it is very, very important. Other relevant legislations are also available. I will show some of the relevant legislation which will be supporting for disaster management and reuse, the rescue and response. Coming on to the Disaster Management Act 2005, so what is the primary objective was establish a legal framework for disaster management in India, especially disaster management authority comes under state disaster, everything comes under disaster, district disaster management. You see how it is getting infiltrated, not only maybe at a national level to state level to district level. Again, executive committees available at lower level responsible for implementation of the national plan and coordination. All those things are comes under Disaster Management Act 2005. It gives the flexibility of moving from top to bottom and also bottom to top. So any good thing which is available from top or maybe bottom, it will be implemented maybe in all the areas of our affected areas. Either it could be disaster, it could be by natural, or it could be by man-made. Again, National Policy on Disaster Management provides comprehensive framework for disaster management. So it includes disaster risk reduction, emphasizes the need of preventive measures and risk reduction, preparedness and response, how focus on enhancing the capacity of the institutions and communities to respond effectively. You see, nowadays we have emergency response team is available maybe in all the districts. Immediately, whatever may be the emergency, they are ready to come and support. Again, reconstruction, rehabilitation, strategies for recovery and rebuilding the post-disaster. All those things are obviously given in National Policy on Disaster Management. Again, National Disaster Management Plan, NDMP, says strategic plan. Sir, whenever something is happening, when a fire outbreaks, what all the things to be done? When a flood outbreaks, what all the things, flood happens at national level, what all the things to be done? It gives the framework, a risk assessment, identify and assess the various risks and vulnerabilities. Nowadays, whenever we call about flood, definitely we can able to understand what sort of the problem may happen. So like that. Again, resource allocation. Again, plans for efficient use of resources during disaster. So especially during the disasters, people will be facing for drinking water, food, shelter, all those things, it has to be properly managed. That is why, it gives the comprehensive the plan for how to utilize the resources. Again, capacity building, during the time of the disaster, many people join hands, but they may not be trained ones. That is why we have to have certain regular trained people, enhances the skills and capability of stakeholders involved. So that is why definitely we can able to see there are a lot of state team, district team which are available for immediately response. Even in our the institution, also of course, the NSS, through NSS volunteers, whenever there is a requirement for supportage of this type of the natural or man-made disaster, many students will be ready. They will be given training and then they will be taken to the real ground for the benefit of doing their activity. In such a way, we do definitely, we can able to maybe the combat or mitigate some of the disasters. Again, coming on to the Environmental Protection Act, which we'll be talking about, maybe legal framework on environmental conservation, maybe especially which will be supporting for disaster risk reductions. Again, Pollution control, obviously regulation to prevent pollution control, which can mitigate certain types of disaster. Example, air quality standards, especially Delhi is under severe problems. Nowadays, many cities are under problem because of the snow, or maybe the thunder or the storm that is available, the snow or thunder available, or maybe because of cold climate that is available. Because whenever the air quality standards are going beyond Delhi, we are finding it is obviously going beyond where it's supposed to be 50, it is reaching to the index of 300. That is why, it's highly vulnerable. Like that, certain things by means of having some sort of the indications, you can able to avoid certain things by means of imposing the strict regulation, we can avoid. That is why water quality regulation for any drinking water, these all the standards to be there. Then it can be bottled and sold. Like that, some regulation. Again, waste management rules. How do we do the waste management? How do we do composting? All those things, it is available. Government of India, it is supporting that. Again, chemical safety regulation. How the nuclear waste can be transported, how it can be stored, all those things, it is given. Again, water noise is also sometimes it is going to be havoc, especially this type of things it is getting in the urban areas. Again, for that also we have the pollution control board regulations to mitigate. Again, environmental impact assessment, which is a tool for assessing the any project which is coming up. Because of that, what all the environmental degradation that is going to happen, and how we prepare ourselves in order to reduce the risk happening due to the project, all those things. Again, climate change and mitigation, every one of us nowadays, we are facing this problem. It is high time that, every one of us to support for this type of climate change and mitigating efforts. So coming on to the state and district level plans, you see localized and national policies. That is what think globally, act locally, the concept which comes into picture. Because good practices that is being practiced elsewhere can be taken. We can do it maybe in our local area for the benefit of people who are suffering due to maybe these type of the natural or man-made disasters, especially like flood or maybe hurricane or maybe drought, everything. Again, what all the things it is highlighting are risk mapping, which are all the areas highly vulnerable. How many of us nowadays we know whenever dam is getting opened, in Madras nowadays, we can see people are obviously putting their cars maybe in the sides of maybe the high-rise bridges. The idea is obviously they understand where and all the water may come, which will come and damage their vehicle. That is why. So they prepare themselves, and then they are obviously in line, without affecting the regular traffic. They are parking their vehicles maybe in high-rise bridges. Like that, we can able to do the risk mapping, and then, we can able to identify vulnerable areas so that we can able to evacuate people, and we can able to maybe save some economic as well from that. Again, preparedness plans are whenever, more people are getting affected. So some strategies we can able to prepare, and then, we can able to make the people comfortably to evacuate from that area and make them food, shelter, everything for them. That is called as a preparedness plan. Again, coordination mechanism. Sir, all of a sudden reaching to the disaster affected area is very difficult. That is why, we can able to make some sort of groups work behind the scenes, and sort of the group maybe work in the forefront. All those things could be, we can plan coordinatingly, we can do, and then we can do some sort of the coordination mechanism and execute in the real field for mitigating the disaster that is happening at local level. Again, building construction code, when we are not violating the NBC norms, that is what, our directors are maybe told maybe in the particular in the address, director's address, he touched upon the importance of constructing the high quality buildings as well, high quality resilient structures are. That is very important, because whenever we are compromising on building standards, definitely, we are going to invite the danger. That is why, the seismic, wind, all those things we have to take into consideration. We have to go for. Again, compliance. Sometimes, the regular inspection and enforcement. You see, in Coimbatore, many buildings which are not worthwhile to live for human beings be destructed, and then, we are constructing new building for them. Especially in Ukadam area, we have seen one building, it went down maybe into the soil. So what we did, sir, immediately we said that those areas are not suitable for people to live, and we evacuated, and then we have constructed new buildings in the area near to Kurmapalayam and other Saranamati area. Of course, people were evacuated. The regular inspection, enforcement. So many the slum clearance board buildings are not suitable for the living. Now they constructed new buildings for the benefit of slum clearance, slum dwelling people. Now they evacuated. Like that, we can do. Again, coming on to the how this can be taken to higher education institution and school. That is what, curriculum integration. You see, in all our curriculum, this particular thing is given as one of the important aspects. Maybe in open elective, in for masters, we are given it as a audit course. Especially everyone should do it. Without that, they should not go outside. Like that, we can able to put into curriculum, and then we can able to give an insight for the students how best technically they can able to manage any disaster whenever it is happening. Again, the schools education safety plans. So that is why recently, I have witnessed a video in the maybe social media. Whenever a student, whenever unknown person is coming into student and gives a chocolate, students are vehemently protecting not to take the chocolate from the unknown people. Like that, even passcodes can be introduced to people whenever parents are not coming. Somebody coming for taking them, we can introduce passcodes. Maybe the students to come along with unknown person. Like that, some sort of things we can able to do, especially maybe in the school. Making them to prepare for, because sometimes school children may be vulnerable due to this type of the man-made disaster. We can able to avoid that. That is why, maybe in schools sometimes, how best. Recently I have seen whenever fire alarm is getting things, even a person is falling, one person, she is taking that person and then moving. Like that, some preparedness or some sort of capacity building measures can be given. Even, in our institution, we got some training by means of attending National Institute of Disaster Management, the training program. We got some training. Like that, we have to give some sort of training to the people, not only by teaching, maybe in curriculum, maybe some sort of training can be given. Recently, we witnessed, whenever, the PD students are asked to come down, maybe in NCC, NS student, they'll be given proper training to climb up, climb down, maybe in the buildings. Sometimes we seen in the newspaper, without proper training, a girl fallen down, she has got some sort of problem. Like that, this can be avoided by means of proper training, how best we can able to manage the disaster. All those things we can able to train them, because the practice makes perfect for the people who are all involving in the disasters mitigation and management. Again, other relevant, you see, the Factories Act, which will avoid the disasters maybe in the factories, the safety measures in industrial setting to prevent accidents and disaster. Again, Mining Act provides safety for regulation mining operation. Again, Indian Penal Code. This includes provisions for criminal liability in the case of negligence leading to disaster. Yesterday also, we can see in Coimbatore, there was a lorry which is having the gas, it has been toppled. The driver of the particular lorry he has been arrested, and he has been put behind the bars because of the negligence. Like that, we can able to. There are plenty of the relevant legislations are available. Whoever breaches the code of conduct, the law, definitely, it is there to make them as victim, and then, give some sort of suitable punishment as well. That is why, whenever we adhere to all these Factories Act, Mines Act, and then IPC sections, definitely, we can able to avoid the disaster, which we can able to avoid. We can able to avoid, and the vulnerability can also be avoided. Hope I am audible and visible, madam.
Yeah, sir, you're audible and visible, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Very kind of you. Sorry for frequently asking this question because I'm on the other side. That is why I'm asking.
No issues, sir. No issues, sir.
Again, how do we implement, sir? That is what very important. Implement the central state agencies, the department, all are can implement the disaster This should be the practice. Instead of doing, we have to make it as a practice. Whenever the things come, that time alone it should not be a problem. We have to make it a practice. Again, we can make NGOs, non-governmental organization and community-based organization play a critical role in disaster and response recovery at grassroots level. That is why, many NGOs we can train. The legal framework in India for disaster management is robust and designed to be comprehensive, addressing all stages of disaster management prevention to recovery. So in the National Disaster Management website, when you go and see, for fire, what type of the evacuation we have to do. Similarly, for flood, what type of mitigation we have to do. Like that, we can plenty of the books, plenty of things which have been given, which are given for the benefit of the people who are easily can access the website. I can do it. Again, the effective implementation of these laws and policies relies on coordination among various stakeholders, including government bodies, non-governmental bodies, and the communities who is available at local level. Again, you see, every year, of course, the government of India is announcing this type of the rewards, saluting the selfless service to community, the nomination for Subhash Chandra Bose Award. So that is why, any individuals or institution may apply awards to be announced. Again, last date, it is given, again, for National Award for Excellence in Disaster Management. Of course, recently, our care wing, we have Kumaraguru, we have a care wing for the disaster. Recently, the person from microcosm went and explained how best we acted during the time of disaster, especially in the Wayanad and the southern district flood. How quickly we reacted, all those things are said, and it has become a model for the entire India. That should be the way of doing our own the activities. So this is a link, of course, for the benefit of audience and break the monotony. I wanted to go for maybe a small video like percentage. You see, this type of the meritorious things, medals, everything it is given for the benefit of maybe people who are doing some sort of very good work in the case of maybe doing their work in the case of the so hope my slide is visible, sir.
Visible, sir. It is visible.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Yes, Professor, it is visible.
Yes, sir. Again, sir, our state is also not. Our state is also having efficient management and a disaster management mitigation plan, because even though central gives all the legal framework, everything, this is tailor-made. It should be tailor-made for our own requirement. That is what, Tamil Nadu may be facing many things. In Tamil Nadu, of course, we have State Disaster Management Act, Tamil Nadu State Disaster Management Policy, State Disaster Management Plan, District Disaster Management Plan. All those things are available maybe in Tamil Nadu also. Collaboration with national agencies, collaboration with non-governmental organizations, all are available, because as I already told you, even though national framework and national coordinating agencies are there, but problem may be occurring maybe at local level that can be different, because the problem of Assam cannot be the problem of Tamil Nadu. So it can be different. That is why, some of the policies, some of the plan, it has to be tailor-made for our requirement. That is why Tamil Nadu government is also well aware of that. Of course, they have aligned many policies, many acts according to alignment of our own Tamil Nadu district. You see, the State Disaster Management Plan says about legal framework, foundation for disaster management, especially in Tamil Nadu. So Tamil Nadu State Disaster Management Authority, chaired by Chief Minister, is responsible for formulating, overseeing disaster management policies at state level. Again, State Executive Committee is almost available for the benefit of maybe coordinating between various agencies. Again, district disaster management authorities. Every district have one disaster management. The authorities are available. They will be obviously coordinating with the local and immediately local level, and then come back the disaster. That is what at state level. Again, Tamil Nadu's disaster management policy, which talks about PDCA cycle. That is called as the plan, do, check, and act. That is why PDCA So they do some sort of disaster prevention, all those things they will do, this planning. They will be introducing wherever the problems are coming. They will see how far this is the effective during the time of implementation. If at all any corrective measures to be, then they will act accordingly and then they will correct it. They will do it maybe in some other area like that. Again, disaster risk reduction, preparedness and response, recovery and rehabilitation, all those things comes under this type of the preparedness. That is why PDCA cycle, any risk management cycle, we can adopt this PDCA cycle, that is plan, do, check, act. Again, Tamil Nadu State Disaster Management Plan, War Room. Tamil Nadu, nowadays putting War Room for even for the national or the man-made disaster, because immediately they'll announce emergency line of telephone connection, emergency thing, everything, hotline they'll be giving, the war room connections, everything. It is even during the time of pandemic, of course, we have witnessed even for all the Chennai floods also, of course, the CM has put up a war room. So provide the detail for managing the disasters in the state. You see, risk assessment, identifying the risk, they will be obviously preparing the plan and then, they work with the people. Resource management, sir, what all the available resources, of course, they will be planned accordingly, they will be sending. So that is where I personally believe in the resource management and coordination. Of course, as rightly told by our correspondent, sir, we can be able to join hands maybe in the artificial intelligence, and then we can do some sort of maybe in the resource management, we can go for supply chain management where excess things are available that can be taken to needy people. Like that, the coordination also where more volunteers are available, they can be given to other areas through supply chain management. Like that, we can go for this type of AA, supply chain management. All those things concept can be brought in. We can able to do the support for the benefit of maybe the people who got affected due to disaster, especially during the time of disaster, we can able to join hands. There are 5F approach that is available for setup of 5F war room. What is that? Maybe fast adaptation, fast recovery, fast free cash flow, fast forward looking, forward organization coming. You see, whenever some disasters are happening, no need to go for budget, anything, sir. Even sometimes whenever we do some sort of relief activity, sometimes the ad hoc budget will be released immediately without no time by the management. Like that, we will be going for the 5 years approach will always help for maybe any war room where free cash flow could be available, fast adaptation. If at all one thing to be adopted, a decision can be taken, we can able to implement immediately. Again, fast recovery, the people who are at site, we can able to guide them for the fast recovery, and then maybe where they're supposed to bring everything, we can able to do it. Fast forward looking, sir. Again, how best we can able to come out from this disaster, and then we can move forward. Again, forward organization, communication, what all the organizations are available, we can able to forward them, and then we can make good communication. This type of 5 years approaches are highly helpful during the time of maybe the disaster management. Again, disaster management plan. You see, the disaster management plan, it spins on the 4 to 5 vertical. Whenever disaster should not happen, that is what our important. That is why we have to prepare ourselves. So that is what we are before the event. We will be prepare ourselves, and then we will be keeping the forces ready so that no disaster should not happen. Any small thing should not become disaster like that. Will happen. So sometimes we will mitigate some evacuation of people, or sometimes the release of the dam on slow basis. All those things can be done before the disaster it is happening. Sir. Once it is happened, again the response and recovery is again. After the event, we have to respond quickly, and then we have to recover the people, recover the economic loss, recover the obviously the material loss, wealth loss, everything we have to do it. That is why this disaster, the cycle, it is moving on. The pre and post event. Pre event is preparedness and mitigation. Post event is response and recovery. So that is why so we have to, whenever we are planning for any disaster, we have to include this hazard identification, focuses on specific hazard, especially. That is why we might have seen in the flood affected areas, the current, obviously, it is cut deliberately by the ministry, or maybe the minister may cut the current because of the overflow of current. Any undue accident should not happen in the flood affected areas. Like that, we have to identify certain hazard, and then we have to go for maybe ensuring that there is no disturbance. Then we have to give the current. Again, emergency preparedness. Again, depends because this emergency preparedness cannot suit for one place to another. We have to tailor made it according to the need of the local community. Again, community involvement, especially nowadays, youth are ready to support for any type of, especially we have witnessed in the Chennai flood, youth are ready to do any type of work. When what they need is they need the correct guidance. That is what the very, very important. When we give them correct guidance, they can able to definitely do they can involve and then do the immediate response, and also they can able to recover the things. That is what the idea. Again, Tamil Nadu action plan for climate change. Climate change, every one of us know it is becoming vulnerable nowadays. You see, rising the level. What are the ill effects may happen, sir? Economic losses may happen, rising temperature, more and more storms, more heated related illness. Again, more animal extinction. Again, more worse forest fires may happen. More worse droughts may happen, sir. Again, heat cramps, the heat exhaustion, heat strokes are also possible because of climate change. So that is why we have to address this type of thing. That is why climate adaptation strategies. Of course, we have to go for the forestation program and avoiding the deforestation program at local level. Mitigation measures are obviously how best we can able to reduce the greenhouse gas effect and greenhouse gas emission into the atmosphere. You have to think over and then we have to act. That is what the concept of thinking globally, acting locally comes into picture. Again, sometimes the specific zone. Coimbatore is one of the vulnerable zone. That is why whenever we adopt certain buildings, maybe whenever we go for certain buildings in Coimbatore, especially vulnerable areas, we need to adopt the specific code, the provisions. We have to go with the regular compliance of the specific code, all the building code provision that is being given, and we have to adhere. There is no compromise on standard that should be made. When we do so, definitely we can be able to build, as rightly pointed out by our director, we can able to go for resilient structures where even sometimes we can able to even to withstand some hazards. Also, we can able to build structures, especially for the Baba Atomic Research Center or maybe nuclear waste management. Everything can be done. So that is why adhering to the specific zone as well as maybe other compliances on building code provision. Whenever we go for building construction, definitely we can avoid massacre during the time of natural disasters like earthquake, tsunami, and all. Again, Tamil Nadu state, we have the early warning system that is especially for flood. So last time also our Chief Minister went to Delhi and then requested Amit Shah ji. So because the early warning systems are getting failure, that is why they said the good system should be in place because to evacuate the people from the affected areas. That is why nowadays Government of India is pouring money in order to give a early warning system available in all the flood affected or all the disaster affected areas. Even tsunami, of course, after 2004, India is also adopting tsunami early warning the system. The boys are deployed maybe near the sea areas, or maybe 5 years before. Whenever we get this type of 5 years before, when we get any warning system, it will be highly helpful for evacuating the people who are living in the coastal area or nearby bank area. Again, sir, the Disaster Management Authority, they should focus on training programs, public awareness campaign, early warning system. All those things must be coordinated effectively. Then only we can go far. So people should be given what are all the risk knowledge. Again, monitoring and warning should be given. Dissemination and communication should be given. Response capability. That is, because Tamarabani is overflowing, collector immediately gave the notice to all the people evacuate from the bank. Like that, we have to make use of the social media as well as maybe the active media for the benefit of maybe making the people away from the disaster and also not to become the victim of the disaster. That is what this type of the training program, maybe in the schools, government officials, maybe in the government bodies, or maybe the volunteers, we can give this type of training program. Again, public awareness campaign, obviously, through messengers or through maybe through radio system. Of course, we can give this type of warning and then make the public aware. And early warning system implementation, maybe the right early warning systems in place will help us to avoid some sort of the risk. That is why, this type of things are, you see, how the vulnerabilities, hazard, again, rainfall, rain level, warning decision, radio, telephone, household, maybe the warming, all those things, evacuation, all those things, we can able to do accordingly whenever we are giving some knowledge training to the people, especially during the time of. Again, National Institute of Disaster Management, NIDM, they are almost working throughout the almost India for the benefit of taking the importance of the disaster and mitigation level to the grassroots level. EC ensures alignment with national disaster management policy and framework, so provides guidance and support for state level disaster management efforts. So in their website, they were given, sir, for ordinary flash fire, what we have to do, ordinary gas leak, what we have to do, everything it is given, sir. Again, it offers in capacity building programs for the benefit of, even we have attended through Tamil Nadu of Urban Village, we have attended some program like that. This type of program helps us to understand better about the in community-based non-governmental organization. Of course, self-help groups, maybe in villages, again, non-governmental organization, again, they can able to support for the benefit of combating and mitigating the disaster that is happening, or even after post-disaster also for coming or bringing back the normal life of the people to the routine thing. So there, because NGOs are considered as the bridge between government and public, where they will bring all the government policies framework to the local level. That is why NGOs, they will provide disaster relief and recovery operation, even community development. So in our village we got Ur Kaval Padai, so which will be supporting for the benefit of the people to sleep healthy in the night, because of many atrocities are happening, especially for the elderly people. That is why the youngsters are join hands and then they are roaming from midnight 10 p.m. to the early morning 4 p.m. until the milk vendor comes to home. They are making the almost roaming system inside the village. Like that, at local level, we can able to bring this type of the support, and then we can make the people to away from disaster. That is what very important. Again, Tamil Nadu disaster management legal framework structured to effective disaster preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation. It interacts national guidelines and state-specific strategies to address unique challenges. You see, takes the guidelines from national level, and state-specific strategies are created in order to maybe mitigate the disaster. Again, this framework emphasizes on coordination among various levels of government, community involvement, adherence of safety standards, enhance the resilience against disaster. All those things are put together in one place. Definitely, we can able to do the disaster management. Coming on to the Coimbatore, since we belongs to Coimbatore district, in Erode district also it is available. So Coimbatore District Management Authority, again, coordination with the state and national authority, emergency operation centers, we can able to put EOCs at different places so that it can give effective communication. Community-based initiation. What we can do, sir, certain community, they can involve in food preparation and give. Certain communities may involve in food preparation. Certain communities, they can give the medicine. Certain communities, they can give drinking water. Like that, we can do some sort of community-based initiatives, disaster relief and recovery mechanism. We can do some sort of the national level thing, again, implement at local level, legal and policy framework. Sir, sometimes, legal offense should not be there while we are doing the work. Again, capacity building and training. Every villages, people can be trained to respond for immediate the disaster requirement. All those things. Again, district disaster management authority. So they give the chairperson, maybe the district collector or district magistrate, include senior officials from government, local bodies. Again, disaster planning, coordination, all those things, they will be doing at district level. That is why I told you. So this district disaster management is not only by local people, from national level to state level to local level or district level, or from district level to state level to national level. Whatever the good plans, whatever the good strategies are available, that can be taken, and then we can go for implementation. Even district level plans, it can be adopted maybe at national level. Again, you see management plan, comprehensive strategy for district management, especially, whenever Coimbatore is getting heavy pour, we are telling people should not go to the some of the bridges which are under low-lying area. Like that, now we mapped many areas, and then we are giving awareness to the people. Again, preparedness, response, recovery, all those things you can able to do maybe well in advance, and then we can able to tell the people not to be the victim of. Again, mock drills, very, very important. You see, sometimes, state disaster management authority, they will come to, they will conduct some sort of mock drill. So during the time of preparedness, during the time of even, fire and safety, the fire safety officials, they are ready to give training at all the colleges. Just when we pay 1,500 rupees for them, they will come and give the training during the time of outbreak of fire. How we have to, we are not supposed to get panic. How do we mitigate those fire? Everything, we can able to get just by paying 1,500 rupees fee for them. One day they will come along with their own force. They will teach us how do we, even they will give some sort of hands-on training. Like that, we can able to go for maybe the mock drills in our places by means of creating a team, and then we can go for supporting the again emergency operations. Whenever EOC, even mobile centers are nowadays available, which is having a radar, everything. Communication will not disturb because of any other mode of failures. That is what it is very important. Central hub for managing disaster response effort. That is why emergency operations can be immediately done. Even with mobile nowadays, we can put the emergency operation centers on wheels, so that we can take it to anywhere away from disaster area. We can able to make it stand, and then we can communicate. Again, which will act as information management. We should be collecting information in both ways. The disaster affected areas as well as maybe other areas, so that they can able to give. Suppose, for example, 100,000 numbers of relief villages are coming. Where it has to go? When we contact emergency operations sector, they can tell us, please go and distribute over there. Like that, we can make that. Again, community-based initiatives, maybe awareness campaigns. We can do plenty of awareness campaigns through the maybe the structured program, or maybe the informal meetings, formal meetings. Again, training workshops can be given for the people how to take them during the time of the disaster affected people or local leaders. Everything we can create at least 30 volunteers. We can make them to prepare for the community-based initiatives. We can go for it. Again, building and construction. Nowadays, these municipal laws are becoming too stringent. Even LPA also are becoming too stringent. When we are violating the norms, definitely, they are not giving the initial level approval for any of the building. When we make it as a regular one for everything, definitely, people will not violate. So there was a program, and Madam Jayalalitha was there. Who were doing the rainwater harvesting structures maybe in their home, they will be given the maybe a license to construct, or they will approval by the municipality. Like that, some ordinance which will be in place when it is available, definitely we can able to see the disasters are not happening. That is why, again, sometimes, the relief and recovery mechanism, we have to rehabilitate the people by means of. So that is why, whenever COVID was there, our Kumaraguru Center was considered as one of the rehabilitation centers, where we have given yoga training, where we are given Kabasara Kurinir, where we are given healthy food for the people to get recovery. Like that, some sort of help we can do it for the benefit of people who are getting affected by the disaster. It could be a small one or bigger one, because disaster, when it is happening to other people, it is a news for us. When it is happening to us, it is massacre, or it is a life damaging one for us. That is why, I always request every one of us, the virtual load, put ourselves in the other man's shoe, and then, we have to see how best these type of rehabilitations can be given for the benefit of people who got affected. Because When somebody get affected because of the disaster, their morale will be completely lost. They will be in fear. They will be in danger. All those things we have to remove from the minds of people by means of putting them at ease environment and making them very good, giving them very good relief and recovery mechanism. That is what very important. Again, collaboration of non-governmental organization and community work is very, very important because they can join hands. So that is why Gandhiji says the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So whenever we think of, sir, even an individual person can think, sir, I can able to do something. That something is great when the disaster is happening. That is what, Gandhiji is telling. Immerse ourselves maybe in the benefit of others or in the service of others. That is what Mahatma Gandhi is telling. This is the fulcrum for any community-based engagement. Works with the local communities, enhance preparedness. Again, what is the best thing, sir? Like that, sir, I know something or I know something about maybe disaster management. Please go and tell and then try to be a part of that. That is what Gandhiji says. The best way to find yourself is during time of, especially in disaster, immersing ourselves maybe in the service of others. That is very, very important. That could be a physical work, or that could be a mental work, or that could be a maybe the distribution work. Anything which you can able to do, kindly join hands. That is what very important. Again, capacity building measures are very, very important. Without that, we cannot go to the real field and do the surveys. That is why, workshops and drills should be conducted on regular basis. Educational programs should be include all the disaster management topics, everything. You see, mock drills on disaster management, effectiveness on everything can be given. Thereby, we can go for. So a small video I wanted to maybe give it for the benefit of the. So, shall I take another 5-10 minutes, sir?
Yes, sir, you can proceed, sir.
Okay, madam. So maybe I will show you the last, madam. Maybe this type of mock this can be given. And maybe the next one is the legal and policy framework. Very, very important, you see. So may include specific rules and guidelines whenever Coimbatore is having unique disaster risk management plan. Again, compliance, adhering to the existing rules and regulation, and then we have to create. You see, we made several, the Coimbatore, of course, we made several the places reachable by people whenever, they face some sort of, or even, happy streets we are conducting for the benefit of people like that, So whenever some things are happening, where to go, all those things we can able to educate through this type of. Again, sometimes they face a severe political, even, Coimbatore is vulnerable to floods. So sometimes low-lying area we identified, and then, we are avoiding this type of avoiding. Again, it is prone to drought as well as maybe the industrial accidents, because Coimbatore is one of the industrial city. We are facing some sort of the threat also. That is why, the industrial areas are marked, and then, some of the agriculture areas we are marking drought, and then, we are telling the farmers to adopt the high or less water resistant crop. Like that, we are suggesting Even Coimbatore is prone to earthquake. Sometimes some areas are identified. So, madam, hope my presentation is visible, madam.
Yeah, visible, sir.
Sometimes, Coimbatore, even though directly not having any coastal area, but sometimes because of a cyclone, we are also facing problem. The recent flood, of course, we said Coimbatore may also be getting flooded. For that, we are making ourselves prepared. Again, heat waves is one of the important things because during summer, high temperature can lead to heat wave, affecting the health and well-being of Coimbatore people. Even in Erode is also this type of things are available. So urban areas, green spaces and poor ventilation, we have to avoid. Again, urban fires. Sometimes, high population density, we can go for urban fire. Vulnerable areas, slums are one of the areas. Densely populated areas, industrial units. These areas should be marked, and then we have to keep certain forces over there to avoid. Maybe again landslide. Coimbatore, some of the mountain district areas, it is vulnerable to landslide. So again, we have to. So by means of maybe going for afforestation program in the soil eroded area or using geotextiles, of course, it can able to strengthen those areas. Again, pandemics, we face some sort of problem. Again, we have to go for maybe our medical infrastructure should be made in such a way that people should not even lose their life due to any of the communicable diseases. Again, chemical spills sometimes may happen in Coimbatore as well. That is why, because of industry, we must be so. That is why, whenever chemical spills are also happening, the best way to combat is maybe use wet mask and then inhale the, because whenever we use wet masks, obviously the wetness will prohibit the movement of the chemical other inhalation. That is why use or damp your kerchief and then have a mask like thing. That is what one of the suggestions given by authorities whenever we face in Andhra chemical. Again, sir, maybe Prime Minister of India, almost Modi sir, has given 10-point agenda for the benefit of disaster risk and reduction. And the DRR, he is giving all development sector must imbibe the principle of, because development should not be the only cause or the only aim, sir. They should always keep a disaster risk as one of their important principles. That is the first principle, 10-point he is giving. Again, risk coverage must be include all. So the risk coverage should not avoid small, medium enterprises. That is why, risk means the risk to everyone. That coverage should be given to all. Again, women leadership and greater involvement should be the central. That is why, recently one of the women major, she has been acknowledged by Kerala government because within a short time, along with their troops, she has made a daily bridge for movement of the people and goods. Like that, women should be made as a part of any disaster management or risk management. That is what Modi ji is asking for. The third one. Again, fourth one, invest in risk mapping globally. That is why risk mapping to be done in every area. Sir, if at all anything, any flood comes, if at all any heat waves come, which are all the areas are getting to be affected, we need to have the risk mapping area. If something happens, immediately those area people to be evacuated immediately. Again, leverage of technology. That is where our correspondents are also told that artificial intelligence technologies must be leveraged to enhance the efficiency of the disaster risk management efforts. For that, we can make use of even small robots, maybe to enter into fire and do the rescue operations. All those things we can able to think of doing that. Even, we found out some the borewell rescue mission. People are even small children when they fall in borewell, borewell rescue mission. Like that small thing, of course, we have to go for leveraging the technology for the benefit of making the disaster risk reduction. Again, develop network of universities. You see, this is very, very important. Whenever we have network of universities, definitely we can pull the volunteers and then we can go for combating the disaster. That is very, very important. Again, utilize the opportunities provided by social media. This is very, very important. So I urge you to see the movie called Nota, which is acted by Vijay Deverakonda. So he will be acting as a chief minister of the state. By using social he will be compacting the flood mitigation. You see, uh, we can able to see beautifully, they might have narrated how a flood can be mitigated with the support of social media, that too with youngster support. They might have narrated in the film called Nota. Time permits, I have all the audience in the virtual loop to see that particular movie. Again, building on local capacity, very, very important, because, you know, at grassroots level, who can be the supporter? Only the local community people, they are the supporter. That is why we have to build certain local capacities where people can be trained, where people can be given some sort of capacity building measures, and then, you know, people can be given some sort of the relief and rescue material, everything we can be able to go for building the local or increasing local capacity. Make use of every opportunity to learn from disaster. That is what very, very important. That is why Modi ji is asking about documentation, because where there is no documentation, that you know, we could not able to learn from the lessons. That is why, you know, Modi ji is asking us to make use of every opportunity to learn from disaster, and to achieve that there must be studies on lessons after every disaster. We have to go for it. Again, bring about greater cohesion in the international response, because join hands with certain international community and then try to bring local level activity, so that, you know, we can able to bring the concept of thinking globally and then acting locally. That is what Modi is giving 10 point, because he is the head for all the disaster mitigation works in our country. That is why, you know, he urges us the 10-point agenda, where we can able to give, so we can able to imbibe the principle of disaster in our all developmental area. So the risk coverage should include everything, including small, medium enterprises. Again, women should be a part of, women should be a leader in greater involvement in doing any disaster risk management. Again, we have to do the risk mapping studies at the local level, and then to keep the thing ready. Again, technology leverages should be done. AI can be brought in. Again, network of universities where, you know, youth can be volunteered, and then they can make use of their youth power for the benefit of reducing the disaster reduction. Again, opportunities, social media, make use of social media for the benefit of propagating the disaster and its real effect. Thereby, you know, we can able to aware people to know about all the disaster related activities. Again, build on local capacity, because believing on local people, you have to create. Again, make use of every opportunity to learn. That is why documentation is very important. And finally, bring some international community maybe as a part of our team, and then try to combat the disaster. These are all the 10-point agenda. When we do it at local level, definitely we can able to maybe mitigate the disaster. That is what, you know, I wanted to say. Before we conclude, disaster management is not a one person job. It is a teamwork. That is why, you know, together everyone achieves more. That is what the teamwork says. Teamwork is the secret that makes common people to achieve uncommon result. Teamwork divides the task and also almost shares the benefit. Teamwork makes dream work. Like that is why, my dear friends who are listening through the virtual loop, please make a small team in our area, and then, as rightly told by Gandhiji, immerse ourselves. So anything, you know, any disaster management activity, it has to start from within us. That is why, you know, if you are interested, kindly join some of the organizing program done by KCT or local institution. Voluntarily go and join. Be the change what you want to see in the world, and support for disaster management. So whenever we are doing some good work, the speed is irrelevant. When we are going into the wrong direction, that is why speed is irrelevant. That is, we have moved with the same, even low pace in maybe disaster mitigation, but we have to bring the more people, maybe relief, and maybe the respond in a gentle way. We can shake the world. That is what, you know, sir, by means of doing physical work, by means of doing some other networking, or by means of doing good communication, or being a part of emergency response team, whatever the way we are ready to immerse ourselves, we can be a part of the team, and then we can maybe immerse ourselves in the public service. So in Kumaraguru, of course, we have the Kumaraguru Action for Relief and Empowerment. The care, we are taking care of the disaster relief material, everything. So if somebody those who are their need, of course, during time of disaster in your area, somebody is affected, do not hesitate, call Kumaraguru Care, so that, definitely we'll reach out to you, maybe to the best possible way. That is what the assurance we are giving. And before concluding, I wanted to give the disclaimer statement as well, because, whatever the web content I use is only for the sharing the knowledge to the technical audience who gathered in the virtual loop, not to claim it is my authentic one. And finally, in Kumaraguru, of course, we practice many good things for sustainable as well as disaster management activities. You can see our blogs, or you can visit our institution, and then you can have the real feeling of the disaster management activities and sustainable things, whatever we do in our area. With this, I once again thank the organizing team for giving me the wonderful chance to to say some of the good thing with respect to the importance of the disaster, and also share some of the legal framework, how India as a country, and bottom line, the state and at local level, Coimbatore, how we are moving forward in preparing ourselves towards disaster management plan, as well as the response and risk assessment, all those things, sir. So thank you once again, sir and madam. Thank you, sir. Hope I'm on time, sir. So 1 or 2 questions, if it is available, I'm ready to answer to the audience. Hope I'm on time, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Very kind. So you can share the PPT to all the people, sir, so that they can also see some of the important links, and then they can able to keep it as a reference for their maybe course materials, sir. Any questions are in chat box? Anything, something is like that, madam? Sir, namaskar, sir. Palisham, sir. Namaskar, sir. Sir, Dr. Palisham, sir. Namaskar, sir. Madam, any questions from audience? Shukumarji, kindly go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Professor. Very
Good.
good presentation made by you, and it's very informative.
Thank you, sir.
I'm from Tyagaraja Polytechnic College.
Namaskar, sir.
Actually, there will be some disaster-prone zone like Wayanad. Already, government has informed that there may be some landslide, and also in coastal area there may be some tsunami warning system. Why there is no such alarm system if there is natural disaster will happen like that?
Sir, anyhow, sir, even though Government of India, Government of Tamil Nadu and local level, we do enormous effort to avoid the natural disaster, mapping the previous natural disasters which are all happened. Even though we have all the maps, everything, nature is maybe unpredictable, sir, because how it reacts, where it reacts, it is very, very unpredictable. That is why, what we are doing nowadays, if something happens, how quickly we can able to come back from that particular natural disaster, we are planning, and then, we are doing some sort of the relief activities, especially in Coimbatore. We mapped the low-lying areas, and then, we keep those plans will be ready. And during the time of the rainy season, we deploy some of the high-capacity pumps there to suck the water, and then, may keep the road maybe ready for people movement. Like that, the nature is giving enough warning for us. By knowing that when we prepare ourselves, when when we are preparing ourselves for immediate response, definitely, whatever may be the natural disaster, we can able to mitigate easily without having much the loss of life, much economic loss. That is what I personally believe, sir. So there are systems in place. Only thing is, the coordinated effort must be there while we are mitigating or while we are combating the natural disasters, sir. So that is why I personally believe. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Kamesh. Thank you, Velu, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you. So whatever we discussed is only the why the disaster management is important. Of course, Dr. Palisam sir, he will be talking about the advanced technologies that are available. Hope, sir, Palisam sir, namaskar sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Lohan, sir. Thank you, sir. Lohan, sir, thank you very much. Hello, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We came to know how current scenario plays important role in a disaster management. Thank you for your valuable lecture, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, madam. With your permission, shall I take leave, madam?
Yeah, sir, sure.
Very kind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Shamu, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity given, sir.
Participants who are present here, kindly fill the feedback form for the day 1 first session. Followed by second session was handled by Dr. T. Palnichami, sir. Is currently working as an associate professor in Department of Civil Engineering at National Institute of Technology, Karnataka. He has published 126 articles and journals and conference proceeding in national and international level. He has delivered more than 194 keynote lectures in various levels sponsored by AICTE, CSIR, DRDO and DST, etc. He also secured funded projects from DST, SARB, DBT, AICTE, etc. At present, 2 funded project is going on over worth of 70 crores from the Department of Concrete Battery, and 4 projects was completed as a principal investigator. He has registered 14 patents along with the co-inventors and 6 patents granted. Under his supervision, 11 PhDs was completed and 6 were pursuing. His area of research includes development of sustainable materials for structural application, micro-characterization of concrete and machine learning. He had received 17 awards, including the most esteemed award of Vishwakarma Award 2018 by Planning Commission of India, New Delhi. Best Faculty Award 2017, Bharat Ratna Mother Teresa Award on 2014, and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Gold Medal Award on 2015. The Indian Concrete Journal honored him by Outstanding Young Concrete Engineer title. We welcome you for the session, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, organizer. My voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. First, I'll share my screen. Please guide me 1 or 2 minutes. Anyone guide me? My PPT is visible now?
No, sir.
Not
PPT is
visible?
not visible.
Okay.
The presentation is not visible.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I will do it now. My screen shared or not now?
Sir, not sad, sir.
Wait, I will share.
Now visible, sir.
Yes, wait, I will do it. Now you can see my full PPT?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So next slide is moving?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, fine. Yeah, I can start now.
Okay, sir. With pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you very much. The SPC, the Sakthi Polytechnic College, and my beloved lecturer, my guru also, Professor Sanmugu, and my professor, Professor G.S. Trignano, this online. And I proudly say I'm alumni of SPC, that is Sakthi Institute of Technology nowadays. So I'm very happy to deliver on a lecture in front of my gurus. Very happy to share my small idea about that this topic. Yes, I hope my voice audible now. It's correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Fine. Thank you very much. Yeah. So today I want to talk about that on a small area. So I think it's little relevant to your theme of today's ATAL program. The advanced technologies for the sustainable damage management through FACA as a replacement as a part one. I have planned part one and part two lectures. Today I give some lectures regarding that disaster damage management through that. How can implement some kind of new material, how this material, these things is reduce the damages of the structures. That kind of things I want to discuss today. That is outline of my presentation. Before that, I want to give some sincere thanks to acknowledgement Dr. Ajmal Muhammad. He was my PhD student, did under my guidance. With the help of him, I prepared the PPT as well as his work only I am presenting here with the permission of Dr. Ajmal Muhammad. This is my sincere thanks and acknowledgement to him. So now advanced technologies for the disaster damage management. So the building, the damage during that earthquake or any kind of disaster. So we have some idea to how to evaluate that damage. So with respect to the damage, we can either for that repair, rehabilitation, or retrofitting, and partially repair and rehabilitation kind of things. So still we have a lot of conflict. How can assess the damages of that structure? That is a lot of debate is going on every forum. Still the code also does not have that any definite kind of a procedure or some guidelines to how to evaluate the damage of the particular structures. So this and all with respect to the research only we can evaluate and assess the what is the level of damages of the structure kind of things. So for we also have some lot of some experience. So assess the quality of the building and the service life of the building. The client asks first question. As a civil engineers, I can say. So they will ask the question. So what is the life of my building? They will ask. Okay. So we cannot answer that questions directly because this is not a single factors involving for the damage assessment of the structure, but it's relevant to a number of factors like age of the building, then types of material, then workmanship, then what types of design they made and all those things. So these are the some key points to assess the damage of the structures. So here I'm focusing one kind of technologies here. So in case of RCC building, so where it is a maximum problems occur in that RCC building during the disaster, in particular earthquake. If earthquake it will comes, how the building it will be behave, and what type of materials required to withstand this kind of energy or this kind of forces. So how to design that material and what are the materials we can use in that field. These are kind of things I want to discuss. So in addition that, whenever you go anywhere, the people ask about that sustainability. For that, I slightly include the sustainability concepts of my presentation also. So we can see another 1.5 hours. This title, Advanced Technologies for the Disaster Management through the FACA. The FACA is the new word. I can claim this one as a replacement in the concrete system. So introduction. So maybe this forum is a collective forum. So I can take 1 or 2 minutes the introduction about that civil engineering industry. The construction industry, one of the biggest and fast growing industry. Well known, all we know about this. Biggest fast growing industries in the world, which is around increases the consumption of its all constituents. The researchers are in the search is finding the alternatives for these constituents from the industrial byproducts like fly ash, liquid fume, GGBS, metacoline, so on, so etc. We are also working that same area. So a lot of research is going on. For example, you can take that concrete strength up to 200 megapascal, even more also available. Now the recent code revising IS 456-2000 up to 100, they included in the code book. To be already included, it will come to the publication, right? For referring that kind of grade of concrete. From 5 Newton per mm square up to 100 Newton per mm square, it's available in the code itself. So even where people trying more than 200, 300 Newton per mm square, even it's equal to the steel also, in the future it will come. That kind of lot of research is going on. Without this kind of product like a GGBS, liquid fume, metacoline and all, we cannot achieve this kind of strength of the material. And they give the much priority for the fly ash. So why? Because this is the very good material. Now it is a highly also, it's like fly ash, which is the byproduct from the thermal power plant. Due to these disposal issues, and they secured in replacing cement as a fine aggregate up to the some extent. So you can apply, you can replace the cement by fly ash, the direct or it may be indirect also. During the cement manufacturing also, we can replace some cements by the fly ash. This is one side. Another side, at present, all people talking about the energy consumption. The PM also mentioned the some goals to say energy efficiency kind of things. For that, at present, 54.09% or 93918.38 megawatt of total electricity production in India from the coal-based thermal power plant. Coal-based thermal power plant station. For example, 1000 megawatt power station produces 4 to 00 ton as per day. So this is the our power consumption. That is it production. This is the production from the industrial waste products. These are byproducts that is called as a fly ash. So this much amount of quantity of ash is producing every day instead of say against of this power. That is the scenario. So this is another side issues. And another one is nowadays you maybe ask some questions, sir. Why this is older technology? Why are bringing here now? Is correct? Is correct. The sintered fly ash is being used as the coarse aggregate nowadays. It's a possibility is there. Sintered that is another area of research. Sintered fly ash aggregate as a coarse fly ash as a coarse aggregate nowadays. By neither of researchers show the direction in the using the fly ash aggregates prepared from the geopolymerization technique. This is another kind of technology. They're using the fly ash. Using the geopolymerization technology, we can produce the fly ash aggregate. That is another things is there. For in this presentation, the new type of coarse aggregate is introduced using the fly ash and is named as a fly ash artificial coarse aggregate, that is called as a FACA, which is processed more better behavior than conventional coarse aggregate. Some extent, the study on FACA-CRETE, fly ash artificial coarse aggregate concrete, that is a FACA-CRETE, is also theme of this today's presentation. Now this is the cement scenario. That is that production, the million ton per year. The fly ash production, the million ton per year. with respect to the different country in x-axis and y-axis the fly ash production in a million ton per year. For example, India is the highest one, around 132 tons per year. The China next, China, then USA, Germany, so on, so like that. So this is the graph is showing like this. So now we have this much opportunity to utilize this kind of fly ash in the effective manner, and also we are the responsible persons to reduce the fly ash consumption and reduce the production of this kind of damages to the earth. Then this is some graphical way. The total fly ash production in the world is enough to fill train cars stretching in the north to south poles. That much kind of fly ash. For example, only this is net. It's not my data. This is a graphic representation to this. What is that scenario about that fly ash? Even we have the huge demand in the fly ash at present. Now, this is most of the people aware about that. So I want to take a little bit in deep in the geopolymer kind of things. Geopolymers are synthetic mineral products that combine properties of polymers, ceramics, and cements, which can be synthesized by these condensation reactions of the geopolymeric precursor. For example, the technology is the source material, alkaline solution. Now, the lot of development is happening in the geopolymer. Then one is that the source material is needed, and one is alkaline material is required. Then kyanite, clay, fly ash, silica fume, rice ash, and red mud, etc. Then alkaline solution, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, and sodium silicate, and potassium silicate, so on, so etc. So basically, what we need for the binding purpose means, for example, this is I can take one fly ash particle, another fly ash particle. These things cannot bonding together unless otherwise any treatment kind of things. Either you maybe give the heat treatment, shock treatment, or magnetic treatment, or any other chemical treatment, or physical treatment, whatever it may be. Unless otherwise it's like it's a fly ash only, it's not react to each other. So the fly ash have the rich amount of alumina and silica as per researchers telling, right? So this kind of rich kind of alumina and silica, it's more helpful to bonding with sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, the sodium silicate or potassium silicate. So you can go for the sodium hydroxide or sodium silicate and potassium hydroxide and potassium silicate. Not only this, you can try the other combination also. Among the researchers, they're telling this is a good combinations to get that very good geopolymer matrix. That's why we're using these two combinations. In addition that, you can use any kind of combinations. So we are here. What is the technology here? Means using this chemical alkaline solution to make it or what we call aggravate, not aggravate, then activate the fly ash in the reactive form. Otherwise, the fly ash is simply sleeping. So now you can fly ash, you can mixing with sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide plus sodium silicate and potassium silicate. Finally, you can get one solid kind of matter that you can grind it. You can get that aggregate. So that's why given simple method I given here. Fly ash artificial coarse aggregate FACA, that is a fly ash, that is NaOH plus Na2SO3. Then geopolymerization blocks you can get. Finally, you can get grinding. You can get that FACA. This is. Now, these are the some scenario about that fly ash to reduce the usage of natural resources by utilization of waste metal from the industry. That is that one more solution. As the population increasing day by day, there is a need of reducing even some extent. Reduction in the pollution can be activated by the decreasing the pollution causing the materials. What are the metal causing the pollution? We want to reduce that. As excavating aggregates produce the severe environmental imbalance, so all of you know about the aggregate, how it's coming down from some rock, natural rock, you can get that coarse aggregate. Now even fine aggregate also, now where we are using that crushed stone dust as the fine aggregates. Now, fine aggregate and coarse aggregates highly demanded material. It's mostly obtained from the natural rocks. So we want to utilize this waste material. We have some industrial waste product also, and we need the huge amount of replacement material for that natural aggregate. So then only we can protect our nation. For that, we are lot of people working in this area. Then for this, what is a good solution means geopolymer has excellent binding action, and it's a better way to find out the alternative for the conventional aggregates, conventional aggregate kind of things. So these are the material. The fly ash was obtained from the metal thermal power plant. All of you know about that. It was obtained from the rate of 800 per ton. That was 5 to 6 years back. Now I don't know exactly. Then alkaline solution, the sodium hydroxide. Lot of research is going on. I want to update in this one. Sodium hydroxide, different molarity and a different concentration, and it's maybe available in the pellet forms, also in powder form, pre-mixed kind of things also available. So that time it's no technology. Now a lot of technology is coming up. The sodium hydroxide was obtained in that from the pellets from the local market at the rate of ₹40 per kg. The NaOH pellets are converted into the NaOH solution of the required molarity 1 day before preparing the alkaline solution. These are the things nowadays. No, it's maybe vanished. No need to wait to that 1 day before and all. Nowadays, 2 per geopolymer is available. You can use directly. It's no need to wait these kind of things. So you can get the powder form also, and also all these things we can in the dry form available. I'm thinking to pattern that. Then the in market also, right? All the things mixing together, then one product available. Joe something I cannot remember exactly now. Then Bombay, people selling this product. So from that we can directly purchase in terms of kgs and the ton. Just we can add the water. It's became as a paste. Then you apply as a concrete or system, whatever it may be. That kind of technology is developed. So what we did, this is very fundamental research during his PhD work. Now, sodium silicate solution NaOH was obtained from the local market rate of ₹8 per kg. These are the materials to produce the coarse aggregates. So we may be asked question, some case of who will purchase kind of things. Definitely, they will purchase. Nowadays, no one thinking about the alternate of coarse aggregate by or replacement of sand by means of quarry dust kind of things. Similarly, once technology is coming up, then people accept that way everything is possible only. Now, these are the material I can use for the FACA, the class F fly ash. Why I can use the class F fly ash than class C fly ash? The rich calcium is required. That's maybe helpful for my activation purpose. So I can use the class F fly ash. That's basic gravity of 2.26. Then NaOH and Na2 SiO3 you used for this investigation for the FACA. Then for concrete, so you may be suppose you developed some FACA fly ash aggregate concrete aggregate. So how it will be working that concrete systems? I can take in that example. These are the some methods we can use available, Portland cement and all those things. Then FACA, that is called as a pattern registered materials. We got the pattern also. Fly ash artificial coarse aggregate, that is called as a FACA. It's myself and Dr. Ajmal Mohammed. We filed the pattern. Recently we got pattern also. Now, preparation, the sodium hydroxide solution to the sodium silicate solution by mass to mass ratio was fixed at 0.5. Now, lot of research is going on in this area, how to fix that 0.5 mass to weight ratio, and even you can change it from 0 to 1 also. That is your wishes. Then, according to the availability of material, you do go for the pre-conformity test and the pre-trial. We can fix that. What is that ratio of sodium hydroxide solution to sodium silicate solution by mass? So otherwise, you directly can take some literature here and there. You do some. Suppose I can 0.5, no. So I go for some trial in the below the 0.5 and above the 0.5 I can do it. Then again I will confirm whether it's 0.5 is optimal or not and all those things. According to that we can fix. Then this is the relationship is there in that reaction as well as that is a mass ratio between that activated solution. Then another one is molarity is a very important factor for that sodium hydroxide and sodium silicate solutions. We tried for the different molarities from the low molarity to higher molarity. For example, 8, 10, 12, 14 and 16 molarity of sodium hydroxide NaOH solution was used for this investigation. The ratio of activator solution to fly ash, this is the activator solution. This is a different activator solution to fly ash. I can take the biomass is vary from 0.3 to 0.4 and 0.3, 0.35 and 0.4 is taken. You may be asked why restricted 0.4. This already with respect to previous literatures, they reported more than 0.4. It's not worth and less than 0.3 also. It's not that much useful to that. Then here, the last month also I attended on PhD Viva. They did very fantastic work. The low molarity, they achieved the good, very good quality of concrete. They referred my paper also, right? The low molarity, but more strength. So, sorry, less molarity, but more strength. But they did a lot of optimization kind of things. For example, some optimization technique, they did the research. That is good also. Now, extra what is required is fixed by the conducting the standard slump test and the compaction test. The slump value of 90 to 100 mm and the compaction factor 0.9 is mentioned throughout that study. These are the some the limitation of our study or some boundary of my study also. So here it's a mixing, then casting, then curing. Curing means just to put it in that ambient temperature, that is a curing. Then after that, can pulverize, you can get that FACA. So this is the aggregate. You can see that the surfaces and all those things is very good and more or less equal to the conventional aggregate kind of things. So these are the tables showing that what we did in the trial. Now we developed one, we published on paper how we can speak this all the table is mathematically and how to optimize this kind of table using that some different algorithm, genetic algorithm, AN and all those things. We are using change the same things in the different aspects. Then mix for proportion totally 15 mixes FACA was prepared and compared with this crust stone granite aggregate. The sodium hydroxide to sodium silicate solution by mass was fixed at 0.5 for all trial mix. Then 8 m to 16 molarity of sodium hydroxide NaOH was examined. The ratio of activator solutions from 0.3, 0.35, 0.4. These are the table showing here. Now mix ID, NaOH molarity, alkaline solution to fly ash, NaOH to Na to SiO3, quantity of NaOH, the quantity of Na to SiO3, quantity of fly ash using here for this purpose and tabulated here. So any researchers, you can present these kind of things, you can easily use any persons to develop their own mixed proportions. So these are the mechanical properties of FACA in compared with this crushed blue granite stone aggregate. That is that this is code also is given IS 2386 part 4 1963. The limiting value of non-varying surfaces, the limiting value of varying surfaces is given. These are the different mixes is given here. One is the impact value, another is the crushing values. One more thing is the blue line is the abrasion value. We have a lot of variation also in case of MEA. So MEA is the 8 MEA is nothing but 0.4, 0.5 and 322 and 0.7. So a lot of changes is happening. For example, you can take the blue abrasion value. If it is at less kind of molarity, there's more abbreviation. Abrasion is there. Then it's going to increases. Sometimes it's maybe constants. After that, it's not much more affected unless otherwise 12 MEA3 more or less equal only. So what is our recommendation is from this 8 molarity of Mu2, you can use for that varying surfaces also, right? So similarly, a lot of variation is there in that graph. Then these are the very interesting area that time also we did. So you may be asked, sir, your product is good with respect to the mechanical property. How you can say it gives us strength and what is the sustainability? And also we may be asked is right. For this, we want to send the sample to the XRF, that is the X-ray diffraction as XRF. The result of oxide percentage, how much oxides present inside this material. We found that Na2O, SiO2, SO3, K2O, all those things, oxide compounds with respect to the mass we found. This is the thing. So here, SiO2, the silica is important, and silicon trioxide and potassium. These are the important elements. The how much is we have found that. Then element percentage wise, Na, I removed that O. So these are that element percentage we can get. This is the oxides, this is the percentage. These oxides and elements is very important factor for that preparation of FARCOM. Yeah, this is the interesting graph, the elemental properties of energy dissipative analysis, X-ray EDAX. From this EDAX, we can find that what is that element composition. For example, O, Na, C, SiA, L, Ca, Fe kind of things. So what is the peak CPS per EVE? Then percentage of weight and the C atom and 1 sigma K factor, Z corner, A corner, F factors kind of things we can find. So what you learn from here means we have that rich quantity of silica, alumina, and ferric also, right? So silica, it's available. It gives us more strength to the particular compounds, and AA is very helpful to bonding each other using that source material, and the silica is also selected for the geopolymerization process. So these kind of things is found in that aggregate also. This is very useful. Even adding in that concrete also in the cementitious system. So the rich amount of alumina and silica is there. So again, this leads some problem also. The rich amount of silica, alkyl aggregate reaction can form, and excess silicates coming out, it creates some durability issues in the concrete system also. It is another problem. Then this is another interesting area, scanning electron microscope. So now there's a lot of technologies developed to characterize the material. This is one of the technology that is called as that scanning electron microscope. Through this, we can find that what is the surface morphology of that particular mixes or combinations, whatever it may be. So, for example, how we can read this means, suppose any kind of light you can supply. For example, I can take this is one kind of wall. I can apply that light source, right? Light source to this through this. No, yeah, this is the light source. This is some kind of material, right? For example, the surface is very glassy in nature. It may be reflect like this. In case of very rough in nature, the deflection angle, it may be something different. Correct? No? And what is the time travel from this and what is the time travel to reflect this? So from this, we can let you know what kind of material present here. Similarly, here also, any kind of metal present here, any shining surface is there, the light is reflect automatically. Then any kind of voids is there, cavity is there, light cannot reflect. So it looks like, for example, this figure you can see, this is some voids kind of things, right? It's not no reflection anywhere, it's right here also. So you can see here also like this. So these are the some gaps. So it cannot reflect. So with respect to this, we can come to the conclusion, what is that surface morphology of that. So from this, how that particles distributed, and what are the elements present, and what are the bondings exist kind of things. For example, what is interesting things we can observe, needle-like particles, like we call as a tringate structure formations kind of things in the cement chemistry. Here also some needle kind of structures is present here. It's maybe prove that some strengths also, tensile stresses and all those things. And we can have some irregular in shape. It's occupy less volume. And in case of, you can go for that needle kind of things, it's occupy more spaces. Definitely that voids happening between this that kind of material, the automatically strength is getting down. And also you get some well defined shape, defined shape like a rectangular, then square, circular kind of things. It's created huge voids also. That also is not good. And also it's maybe it have or it has the different combinations like one small needle kind of structures, like irregular structures and cubical structures kind of things. It's very helpful for us. And even this formation, it's maybe varying the size from this nano to micron level also is good. What is the advantages means it is easily packed, right? That is called as, we are calling it as a pore-filling effect. This easily packed and jam packed. So these kind of things is reduce the durability issues. These are the another interference I can give here. So what is the uses of scanning electron microscope? Images kind of things. And you can see some kind of regular shape like a pentagon, hexagon kind of things. That also is not up to the mark to helpful for our structural system. Why? Because that is a well regular shape. No, this create more voices than that irregular in shape. So well defined shape kind of things, right? So that's why we're using for irregular shape of aggregate in the concrete system. So we can get this kind of material. It's good. And also one more things we want to keep it in mind. So any material you can get in the final stage with respect to two processes there. One is a series process, one is a parallel process. So likewise, it's right on a serial process. This is the serial process. And one is a parallel process kind of things. For example, I can add some kind of material in the any system. It's parallelly react. Finally, I get the product. It's good. Than the series. Because after this reaction only, this reaction will start. After this reaction will be starts. Finally, I get that result. In case of cementitious system, some extent the parallel is best, some extent the series is also best. Why? Because, for example, first I add the water, but initially set that cementitious comes. After that, we come to that final setting. After that, it may be very strong enough. After that, it's more durable. This sequence is good. Some chemical present inside, or in case of compound present inside, or some oxides present inside, that and all parallelly react each other, then give the product is a good. That also. So likewise, we want to engineer the material. Again, you go for the cement chemistry. You can get all that information, how it forms one kind of formations to other kind of formations. That is a very interesting part. That's I'm not taking here also. So what I'm trying to say here means, so you maybe get irregular in shape, which is good, and regular in shape, it's not up to mark, and you can find some needle kind of particles and unreacted flash particle and all. Again, we have some problems also. So what we observed here means very good job packing. It's observed here in this micro character, same images. Then the bulky and the dense part in the figure is a gel-like matter and can be termed as a geopolymer binder. So nowadays, every day people giving the different interference of the result with respect to same images. Different paper have the different interference. So that we want to, with respect to experience only we can. Then micro cracks and macro pores are visible in the gel structure. The pores in Paka are not continuous because it is a crushed materials like a conventional pores aggregate. Here, another research is going under my guidance. So what we are trying, what is the components of silica, right? What are the form? That form, how it changes dynamically, and how the changes of the silica and alumina with respect to the time scale. For example, I can add water in this mix, how it forms, first one, second one, third, with respect to time bound, with respect to time scale. This is called as phase, how its phases changes, one phases to another phases kind of things. We are studying the detailed matter. Then microcracks are caused by the drying shrinkage, which is a physical property inherent in the gel. It is occurred by the capillary tension within the gel caused by the removal of water during the polycondensation reactions. So this also we observed that time, but a lot of research is going on. But at present, IS 456 2000 also they included that drain shrinkage also. Shrinkage is included in the IS 456 2000 and the revised code. It will be published. Correct? They are concentrating more about that shrinkage, autogeneous shrinkage, drying shrinkage, so on. So how the people these kind of things put in that code base with respect to this kind of research on, right? Then many needle-like particles can also be seen in the images. There are also some zeolites forms in the microstructures. So you can see that zeolite, it's confirmed with respect to the surface morphology. Now we have the technology, right? I want to find about what is a particular component means. I can take this alone, then I can maximize it. I can get what are the chemical compositions inside. That kind of technology is available at present, right? And also, what is the bonding between these two? For example, you can see in these images now, we have some bondings, right? Here. So what is the bonding between these two? That kind of advanced studies happening at present. Then these mixes NaOH is the most expensive compound. Then 8 molarity A1 FACA is used for further studies. So now I'll consider the FACA crate. Solid, I told you know there is aggregate. This is the concrete part. Clubbing together, I can get that FACA crate. These are the some materials required to making the 1 meter cube of the concrete. For example, M20 grade, 25 grade concrete, M30 grade, M20 grade concrete, 25, M30 grade concrete. These are the conventional grade of concrete, M20 to M30, say M20 to M30. Then this is the concrete in addition with the same mixes, addition with FACA, the different replacements. For example, M20, M25, M30. What is the FACA means? Here, it's this combination I taken for the further study. So you may be asked the questions. You know, suppose you are developed some FACA aggregates, then you may be ready to put in that concrete system, how it behaves, how it changes in the mechanical property, and how this property of material is helpful for the damage reduction. That kind of things you may be asked after the end of this presentation. I'll answer that question. Now, the M20, M25, M30 grades of the both normal concrete and the FACA crete concrete using the FACA as the coarse aggregate were prepared and tested. The mixed design is prepared as per IS 10262 2009 standards. These are the some abbreviation of that M20, M20 FACA 25 so also. Hereafter I can use this kind of things. I'll tell you one more thing that is that FACA crete, don't worry about, in case of FACA, don't worry about that quantity of water. But in case of cementitious concrete system, we highly worry about that water cement ratio. That is important. Then rest property of the concrete. These are the rest property for the slump, compacting factor, average pre-wetting time, and the density also. First, hard and dry air and oven dry density. How does the density changes also you can see here. But even if you look at the conventional concrete, the strength, the weight is more, right? It's suppose around 23 kg per m3. But in case of the 20 FACA, around 19 kind of things. Around I can say it's a 20 kind of things, right? So suppose I can get below 18, no, I can claim as a lightweight concrete, but it's not happening nowadays. So these are the some densities of hardened state, air dry, oven dry densities also. These are the compressive strength. I don't want to make it as much more about you. The compressive strength. What we observed means, then what we need means, this concrete strength is increasing is good on aspects. What is that reason? What is the mechanisms what is the mechanism behind of this? That's we want to taking care of that. The forest FACA, this is advantages I given here now. The forest FACA will have the better bonding with the mortar between the artificial, centrifugal, transition zone ITZ, and the high angularity of FACA gives the better packing of the aggregate, both which may be contribute to the increase in the compression strength. So what we claiming here means the interfacial zone between that aggregate and bulk cement paste, that is good. Why? Because this is aggregate also in a reactive manner, and this in around that is that cement mortar also reactive in nature. These two nicely react and get that very good strong compound is the possibilities there. Some drawbacks also is there that I will tell you later. Then some researchers also reported so kind of things. Then splitting tensile strength of the concrete. So the splitting tensile strength of the flexural strength IS 456-2000. Now we change this formula for the split tensile strength of that concrete in the revised code need to be published. That changes splitting tensile strength. These are the graph showing the splitting tensile strength of the different uses. Then flexural strength and models of rupture of the concrete. This figure shows here, you can see. Then compressive strength and splitting tensile strength, the relationship. For example, 5000 into the root of FCK, it gives, otherwise we can develop an equation y equal to mx plus e kind of things. So you can easily predict what is the relationship between the compressive strength and the split tensile strength. Also possibilities there. These are some equations we developed that the compressive strength and splitting tensile strength. For example, I can take the normal concrete f of CT is equal to 0.921 into f of CK in 0.34. R is nothing but the regression coefficient R square 0.9964. That is that. Then FACA-CRETE f of CT 0.937 f of C, R is equal to kind of things. So for example, this is the difference between this, right? Conventional concrete and FACA-CRETE concrete. These are the factors. From this equation, we can directly find what is that relationship between this concrete and all this thing we developed, and we can compared with that standard model also given by the ACA 31914 and the Neville and the Juki and others also. So their findings and our findings is compared each other, and our finding also is more or less coincidence with their findings. That is, we evaluated our models. Then this is the split tensile and compressive and compressive strength. So what is that relationship we developed, and we developed some model also. Their compressive strength and flexural strength. So here also you can use this kind of equations for your researchers also. Normal concrete and the conventional concrete, we can develop that equation and I can show here. Compressive strength and density you can link. Then we developed some equation also. Then that equation is a standardized one we can use anywhere. Then the generalized equation. Yes, finally we can develop the equation FCK is equal to that is that quadratic equation kind of thing still. Minus A rho square plus B rho B minus C. This kind of equation we develop using this kind of relationship. Now another one is the metal properties of it. You may be asked what about that. Suppose I can ready to use the FACA. How it's applicable, how far it may be good for the structural properties. For that we get some cast specimens like a beam column joint, so and so. How it behaves and all those things I am taking here. Then stress and relationship of the concrete. On replacing this conventional coarse aggregate, which the FACA is the strain capacity and the elastic deformation capacity of the concrete is increased with the pre-failure zone. From this, how we can say this means this is a stress strain plot from the FACA grade concrete. The strain in this y direction, the stresses in the x direction. This is F is nothing but ultimate. So I can get the two graphs also. Very nice graphs available. This one, this slope I can get. I can this also. Equivalently, I can draw this curve also like one kind of linear equation. So kind of the toughness ratio. This is one of the parameters you can use for that earthquake resistant structural design. The toughness ratio is nothing but area under the curve ABC and FU into 0.15. Now a lot of research is developed So different research is telling different definitions of the toughness ratio. Right? Some people is taking up to that yield only like this. So here and after that yield, this person only they will take. Some lot of conflict is going on. But as per that theory, as per that previous researches, this one is taken for the reference. You also take that. Then average result from the stress strain curve. The stress strain curve is related to that our material. What we claim means the Kurzgesagt grid also is contributing for the stress strain relationship, including inclusion of that steel and other material also. Then from this we can calculate the elastic modulus of the concrete. That is initial tangent modulus, secant modulus, Carl modulus, so on so better. These are the some structural property. So for you go for that higher studies and all, it is very useful in this kind of parameters. This is the stress strain relationship of the concrete. This is a very good observation we observed here. What I will take another 1 or 2 minutes here. For example, I can use that some concrete specimens like this. So, for example, already we studied this strain energy kind of things, right? So, any materials looks like this. I can take this area under the curve that is called as energy. Energy under the area of this curve, kind of things. Now, for example, only now my concrete system is get that more area of this strain curve, which looks like this. This means we can get that extra area. So what is that meaning means? We can get that extra energy also. So these kind of things is more need for this material developers. For example, I can take this is the ultimate, is right. For example, I can take this is the yield, right? Up to the yield, the more or less same in case of graph curve 1, C1 and curve C2. So after this, no, so you can get more energy in that curve C2. So what do you need? So this is the yield, this is the ultimate, then it's getting down. So very, very important for the earthquake resistant structural design concepts. So right after the yielding, how long this material withstand, that is important. That kind of things is maybe achieved through adding the fiber inside the concrete, or you can engineer the concrete with respect to that aspects you can get it. So here what I observed, using that FACA, it gives some positive result when compared to the conventional concrete. For example, this is the green one, is right? This is green, a black one. This is called as a conventional. This is our FACA. FACA. What is our claim is up to this yield is right, even ultimate also, that slope of the line is almost same is correct. So slope of the line is almost same. The behavior not much different. So I can take one small section here. You can see some energy is observed than the conventional things. This is good. So these are the things we observed from this. This is I can calculate and find how much energy is stored extra after that yielding and all. It's a very interesting point. And we also have some strain hardening effects and softening effects, and also so you can see these all the figure put together. Some figure, so you can see this. I can make it on a section here, right? So some things is then a green line. Green line. It's get that more strain also. It's good, no? So you can see from these two here. This is external cases, correct? So this is good also for us, right? So up to this also is good. 0.025, the strain also is good, right? So we can get this much area. So these are the interesting things we observe. So why not add some kind of fiber? I can even extend it more also. It's a possibility is there. And if you want to look about that, this is the slope of that curve. Suppose, so why this deep slope immediately it's happening? Sometimes now you can get that extent very flat and gentle in nature. That's right. These are the area. These are the things is very interesting things. We can develop this model in the further aspect also. So that kind of things we can think and we can utilize these kind of materials effective manner. Then sustained relationship of the concrete. So with respect to the FACA, how it that stress strain relationship will be changes. For example, you can see, look at this M20 M20 grade concrete or M25 grade concrete and M30 grade concrete when compared with M20 FACA, M25 FACA and M30 FACA, right? You can see this is that failure. You can see that kind of one single crack it comes and its failures you can see here, right? Kind of things. But the same kind of load and same kind of mixes also, we can get that more number of multiple cracks in that specimen. You can see this is very helpful for the civil engineers. Why? Because the any materials is breaking into two pieces, it's not good for that our structural point of view. It's right. This is not good advanced technological material. Suppose the material give multiple cracks, it's a very helpful for that earthquake resistance structural design. So the FACA M25, due to this adding that FACA create FACA aggregates create a lot of changes inside the concrete mixes. It creates some kind of multiple cracks kind of failures. So this is very good observations we observed. So now we can extend this kind of research in that fracture mechanics also. What is a fracture phases or fractures properties of FACA grade concrete? So we can where is our research again start with this graph is very interesting graph after this. So why not do that fatigue or a fracture mechanics is here, and this is very good observation. Why not go further these kind of things? Now students working in this area. Then the replacement of conventional course aggregate by FACA affect the post peaking segment of the stress strain curve. So that is, for example, what is this interference means? The significant increase in the toughness ratio when FACA is used. This shows that the effective contribution of FACAs to concrete toughness is right. This is related to the toughness. Then replacement of conventional coarse aggregate by FACA affect the post-peak segment of the stress strain curve. Right. This is an observation. Then you can get this kind of a graph of this phenomenon, adding the fiber only. Without adding fiber also, we can get this kind of shape of the curve. It's very helpful for the earthquake resistant design. The failure occurred due to the formation of vertical cracks of the lower grade of normal concrete. Also, grade of concrete increases, the pattern changes in diagonal cracks. This also is good observation. You can see multiple cracks is there. The FACA grade have the multiple cracking and the normal concrete specimens were characterized with localized failure. Then FACA grade multiple cracking leads to higher failure strain, and also redistribution of the stresses leads to higher residual strength. These are some observations obtained from the stress translations from the. And you can check with this our specimen is good in case of quality basis, right? So for that 150 mm³ were used to the perform UPV test. The ultrasonic pulse velocity of all mixes varies from 4.3 km per second to 4.63 km per second. The correlative concrete also we mentioned. Now we developed this test is another level. What is the frequency of that wave is passing from one phase to another phases? So with respect to the frequency, we analysis this is concrete, is good or bad kind of things. Developing that kind of technologies here. Then rebound hammer test I shown here. This is simple test is given. Then slip bond behavior of the FACA grade. So he may be asked questions, sir, I am ready to use this kind of material in construction industry. Suppose what about the bond slip behavior of the FACA grade? How does the FACA grade is related to slip bond behavior? Why? Because with respect to bonding between that reinforcement and concrete, only that most of the RC structures withstanding state. What is the bonding between that aggregate? Sorry, bonding between that hydrated cement paste and that reinforcement is very important for the strength aspects. For that, we did some pull-out test and we measured the slip also. Right? For example, to determine the anchorage bond strength and its variations, crushing strength of the cubes at an edge or weak ground edges of specimens, and the type of making the pull-out test. At free end, the load values was measured, the slip of 0.025 m. For example, this is the our specimen we did in our laboratory, right? This is the specimen. This is the standard one, IS 2770 part 1. This is the 100 mm cube, like we are called as locally lollipop specimen kind of things, right? 100 by 100 mm specimen. We have 6 mm diameter spirals, right? Wire kind of things, right? 6 mm diameter, right? In helical kind of things. We insert the rod right around 440 mm from the surface. The total length of the rod is 660 mm. Then we can give some gap between that outer surface and the rod around 10 mm. Right? So now how I can make it the pull-out test? That is a universal testing machine. We have that upper jaw and a lower jaw kind of things, right? Then the one place this is lower sides, make it as a free, right? This surface can touch in the lower jaw. Is the release this lower jaw, then upper jaw you can tight it, the hold the specimen. So what is that things? It tends to move up now for the reaction. Now this rod is pulled out from the concrete. How much the force is required to pull out from these things? That is called as a pull-out test. So this pull-out is related to what is the surrounding area in around the concrete. This is surrounding areas. So that is important. So that we measured here, and how much slip was happened. So that slip is can measured by means of dial gauge kind of things we can measure, and a load is measured by means of a load cell, or otherwise you can some direct UTM, and a deflection also you can measure using LVDT and some strain gauges, so on, so etc. So how the free end, the load values was measured at the slip of 0.25 mm we can measure, and the slips at the free and loaded ends of regular intervals of loading. The maximum load failure and the type of failure, M20, M25, M30 grades conventional concrete and concrete using 20 mm, 12 mm bars. The bond stress is the stress developed over the equivalent surface area. Bond stress P into pi dr LR. Dr is nothing but diameter, L is nothing but length of the steel rods embedded inside the concrete. The D is the diameter of the rod, and pi is the pi, P is the load. So from this we can calculate what is the bond strength. Then mode of failure. Right, for example, you can say for 10 mm rod and for a 10 mm rod and 12 mm rod, the reinforcement was failed just before reaching the ultimate load. Reinforcement was failed just before reaching this ultimate load. Then what we observe here means, in case of using the 10 mm rod, this is pulling out down from that specimen. Here we can get some bunch of failures right in between that. Reinforcement, this is acting like this force. There's a force, it's acting like this, right? So we can find this kind of failure. So this maybe it's not, I'm not 100 due to that my aggregate is present inside. So that is one of the factors, not that only is a factor, right? The least bond resistance has occurred in that unconfined concrete due to the formation of radial splitting cracks formed by the high tensile hoop stress at the early stages. These are the observations obtained from this results. The concrete cone was cones was found in the specimens, and because of the bond forces acting on the concrete front of the rebar. Then now we want to study about more how these failures happen. What is the bonding between that steel reinforcement as well as this is matrix we want to study, elaborate. For example, I can take one specimen kind of thing. This is input for some researchers. So this is the that is the reinforcement steel. In the round we have the hydrated cement paste. So what is the interface between these two? Interface between these two you want to take more. That is a ITZ between that steel reinforcement and hydrated cement paste. So we can take, and you can make that on a radial kind of things. I can make radial these like kind of things. So let I know what is that bonding what are the compound it's present from that center of the reinforcement to next to reinforcement or towards this towards to the other reinforcements. So we can find. So I can take the some cross section. No? So what this is interface. I can take that particular. What is that property of materials here? What is the properties of material here? Similarly, I can go ahead. Then I can plot on all those things. I can get that lot of informations of its. There is, for example, I can take that SiO2, CHZ kind of things. I can plot it with respect to the distance, how it varies kind of things. Why this variation is happening? This is another kind of research, right? So, these kind of informations, we can come to the conclusion why its failure was happening, right? This failure is happening only due to that bonding between that cosalicate and the bonding between that cement matrix and reinforcement. This kind of things we can learn for that detailed study. Even if this may be looked at in the microstructures level, what is that same images of this particular section, what are the element compounds and XRD things you did, you can learn a lot of information. Now, bond strength, ultimate bond strength of concrete is more than conventional concrete. The compressive strength of the concrete is slightly more than the normal concrete at the early stage. Then increase in the compressive strength is a representation of increase in the bond strength between the aggregate based cell and intermediate cell transition zone. So this is another area, right? The closely packed FACA is the FACA crate and thick gel forms better bond inter reinforcement for 10 mm diameter and 12 mm diameter is given here. This is the bond strength variations. For example, you can plot between the slip and bond stress, the how does this varies. For up to this, the bond and slip is highly related. After that, now it's maybe pulling is happening. There is a slip, more slip, right? Up to this is the bond. So this is good. For example, I can take that M20 FACA. So around 8 Newton per mm square. Here also it's fine. It's good. 8. Up to this is more or less equal. No bonds, more or less equal. After that, small changes happen. After that, sudden failure happen. So here around 1 mm slip now, it's maybe getting down. Here 1.5 mm. So small variation is there. So this also some considerable amount improvement is there. Is correct. This is 1.5. This is 1. So this is a good when compared to that. So these kind of studies is very useful. How does this pose aggregate is influencing the slip and bond behavior of the concrete systems. Then bond slip response of all the specimens, you can see the beautifully all the curves for M20, M25, M30, and M20, M25, and M30 FACA also, right? Well, these interesting things we can see here. That is a dotted line now. That is a representation of FACA. Some changes is happening in the concrete. In that, after some period is correct. Up to this, not a big changes for 0.02 mm. So after that, some changes is happening. Is correct, no? And compared to others, that is good. So you can see very less slip observed during that things is correct. Then bond slip and the bond stress and slip response. NMM bond stress and slip response is plotted. So you can see some graphs is immediately dragging down on the slope, and suppose you may be interested, you can study about this, why the slope is getting like this. So why not is maybe like this and all those things. You can study more. You can get more idea. Then empirical modeling between that slip and bond stresses. So the some researchers found, for example, 1983, 1989 researchers found that we compared with their result also. The tau is equal to unity S by S1 into whole power of 1/2, where S1 is less than or equal to S, less than or equal to 0. Now tau is equal to 0.9 times of tau max. These are the equations we develop. Here also compared with the empirical equations. So here, what is the basic here means we have that experimental data. Then equivalently, we can make like this. And we also try this. For example, equal kind of things. Right. So we can get analysis what is a S1, S2, S3. From this we can develop the empirical model of the between the bond and the slip. These are the empirical modeling we did and compared with this some kind of code also. So we can also develop this kind of things. Another one is behavior of concrete in RCC beams. So behavior of concrete in the RCC beams. So you maybe ask questions. Suppose I put this kind of aggregates in the beam, what will happen? Sir? For that we did some experimental in our laboratory. The specimen size is around length is 1.7 meter. Then depth is 150 mm, breadth is 100 mm. The reinforcement is given here means 2 numbers atom diameter at that top and 2 numbers atom diameter at that bottom. This is the reinforcement. So here we measure the strain also. So you can see here we measure the strain. So we may first that S1, S2, S3, S4, the pivot kind of things, right? We can use the diamond gauge. So we measure the strain. For example, apply the load, it tends to bend like this. No? For example, only it's not bend like this. Like this, we can have that some curvature. So there is a change in length by origin, we can get the strain. So that strain we measure and then with respect to this fixed depth also. So we can plot the what is the strain profile of that is our beam. Possibility is there. Then we can measure demountable mechanical strain. Demarc gauge is used and measure the strain value. Pellet of 6 mm diameter is glued on the points. We can point here. We can measure what is the deflection. These are the deflection also measured. Then you can remember this formula is correct. Mu lim is equal to 0.36 XU max divided by T, 1 minus 0.4 XU max divided by T into BD square MCK. We compared these loads in the mathematically and as well as our code, experimental as well as our code book recommendations. So small varies is found in between that these two. That is obtained value experimentally. This is experimental value. This is IS 456 2000 value. Small varies this step. That will be happened due to that some fixity of that specimen, some constants we assumed for that calculation and all those things. For that variation it will come. So ultimate load we can find that M20, M30, M25, and including FACA is given here. You can get some idea. So it's not confined with this research. You can extend it according to your convenience in the different aspect also. Then this is another graph is the low deflection behavior. From this we can find about how it behaves. This beam with low deflection behavior. This is the low deflection. What you observed means here this is a M20. This is M20 FACA. So how it's varies and how long it goes under, it's good. Right, these are the combined graph on. From this we can develop an equation also for that this is exponential equation y equal to constant power of x and x1 x2 kind of things. We develop our own equation also for different kind of grade of concrete also, right? You can see some interesting part also is there is right up to this one value is there here also. So these are all the mixes is showing the very good results, right? So why kind of things we can go in further. You can get a lot of informations, right? Even you can get around the 22 mm diameter, 22 mm kind of things. So from this we can find some other parameters like a low deflection, moment, deflection curvature, strain curvature, so and so kind of things. Using this we can develop that model also possibilities there. Deflection curvature, strain curvature, so etc. Then another one is a ductility behavior. So this is another area of things. So this I will give the introduction only. So next part I will take again. This is the real part of related to your topic. How to develop that material and what is the ductility and how to calculate the ductility and how does the ductility is very useful for that earthquake resistant structural design. Then how this kind of property we can use for that structural design and all. So also I will elaborate in one more section, that part 2 section. Now his time is 9:15, 9:16. Another 5 to 10 minutes we can have the interaction with respect to the presentation. I want to summarize today's presentation. So what is the we learned, Praveen? So what is that raw materials available in around us, like a fly ash, silica beam, GGBS, and all those things. So why we chosen that fly ash means is available in around us. So for that you're using that aggregate, artificial aggregate, that is called as a PACA, using different molarity of solution, and we are using this fly ash class F fly ash. So how it makes and how to cure and how to grind, so how to that what we can crush it. So after that, what is the property, and after that how we can add in that concrete system, what will happen in the micro level, macro level, then surface morphological level, then mechanical property, then structural property, mechanical property, then metal property, then structural property, then another is you can go for the component also. These are the things we learned today. So we have any discussion means we can discuss another 5 to 10 minutes regarding these presentations. Tomorrow I will continue expressly only for the ductility behavior of the beam and beam column joint. This is a new technology we can using that earthquake system structural designs kind of things. So now I can see that any questions you can have means you can put in the chat box. I will answer that question. We'll discuss. Yeah, over to organizers. Hello. Anyone is there? Hello, any questions or anything? Thank you. Any specific question, please? So I'm seeing the question paper, no question is there. So we can wind up the section now. I think all are muted, is correct? Please, organizer, please unmute it.
Sir, wonderful session, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. That is any question, please? We discuss. Okay, fine, good. So no questions, nothing means we can meet tomorrow again around 6 p.m. I guess, as per that schedule. So I'll meet you in that other kind of presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Advanced technologies for disaster management. He dealt about a fly ash based course aggregate for properties and their applications. Thank you for your wonderful session, sir.
Yeah.
Participants, kindly fill the feedback for the second session.
Thank you. I can leave the meeting now. So
Yes,
thank
sir.
you very much. We'll meet tomorrow. So any feedback or any queries raised by the participants, please share with me.
Sure,
Tomorrow
sir.
we'll answer the questions.
Sure, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Kindly fill the feedback form for the second session. After the submission of your feedback form, can leave the meeting. Thank you so much.